Hello, everyone. On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, we're live and alive.
Barely.
And we will be giving you the LOSTBELT pre-game, so don't touch that dial, or I'll punch you.
No violence,
Hi,
please.
I'm one of your hosts. I am the Alive Omega, and I'm very full because I ate food literally just before we started. With me, as always, is Lucky the Legless.
Excuse you. Well, I guess
Hey,
that's true.
I'm just reporting what I was told yesterday.
That's true. Everyone, I hope you are all enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka the elephant in the room. And while we here at Tiiimmmeee like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should prepare for a long walk. Oh boy.
Yeah. So we should explain why we are live to YouTube right now, as opposed to being not live to YouTube several hours ago-ish, having recorded yesterday night.
Yeah, no, so this is a me bad ish. So yesterday, as everyone knows, Lucky works. He gets off, usually comes home and records. And for like the past while, he's been using a scooter to get home from work because scooters are cool. It's electric. It gets up to like 20 miles an hour. It goes new. It lets me get up in hills and shit. The only problem is ever since I've crashed it a few times, the back wheel has not been the bestest. Unfortunately, on one such trip yesterday, about halfway home, my back tire blew. So what that means is all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of a several mile distance from home. I have just popped my tire. I will not be able to catch the bus for probably the next, half hour to an hour, and there's a show that needs to be getting done. So with that, I decided, fuck this. I'm just gonna walk. And I did. I walked very far. I walked very hard. It was hot. I carried the scooter. In hindsight, I probably didn't have to carry the scooter because it has fucking wheels and it could still roll. But the back tire had been blown out and I didn't want to necessarily do anything that might fuck it up even further because I had to fucking fix it.
Yeah. No, you don't want to ride roughshod on a bad tire.
No, so I carried it. And the electric scooter, it's not light. It's not light. It is built to carry up to 330 pounds. So it's big, it's chunky, it has a fat ass motor. I think it has like an 800 watt motor. Like I said, it gets up to 15, but if I was like 100 pounds less, I'm pretty sure I could break like 30 miles an hour on this fucking thing. Tiiimmmeee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Alessandro Astalgia, I can see your messages.
Also, the internet can see your messages because Lucky's got the chat overlay on.
Yep.
How you doing?
Yep. So I got home and so this is a Lucky problem. I'm gonna explain this right now. Usually, sometimes I can shoulder through things. Like I said, Lucky, his body has done some things. It's been some places that has suffered some injuries. So I wasn't necessarily feeling the most top of conditions. On top of this, of walking several miles in my, I will say, admittedly poor physical condition. I've been working on it. I have, but still was not ready for a several mile journey. I was dead. My legs hurt. I was ready. It was hot. I was sweaty. I was just like, and I'm just like, at that moment, I'm just like, nah, I'm done. I'm fucking dead. I can't do this right now. I am noping so hard. And, I basically got online and told Omega's like, I just can't. I fucking can't. Omega too.
I asked you the question. I'm like, okay, can you rally or are you done for the night? And you're like, I can't feel my legs. And I'm like, correct, sir, you are done for the night. Thank you, have a nice day.
Yep. At which point, I tried to play Final Fantasy a bit, couldn't, and then just crawled into bed and laid there and contemplated my existence. But, unfortunately, I do know that this was actually supposed to be a very important episode. As it says in the title here, we are doing the LOSTBELT pre-game. Omega already wrote the notes. They're there. It's nice. It's nice and long. How actually? That was the wrong thing to scroll.
It's a couple of pages.
Yeah, it's a couple pages. There's stuff.
It's a thing. We got stuff. We basically said last week, like, we got one more show in the month. The Lost Belt thing's not gonna happen yet. We can push it. So we did push it, which means that now the episode that would have gotten recorded on the 28th and is now coming to you live in studio on the 29th is kind of a big deal.
Yep. Now, the other part of this problem that I want to talk about right here is we normally do What's Ups on Saturdays. And I had put to the people, hey, y'all, I don't know if you guys just want to necessarily watch me stream Final Fantasy XIV for the umpteenth time again. So I'll put it to a vote. And I decided to do something that I still consider myself very, very, very stupid for suggesting. But I'd said if enough people voted on it, I would stream me doing art, working on emotes in particular. Now, as you can see, I have my art podium up. I have the ability to doodle. Check out the sweet spiral, y'all. And I will, I guess, the process as Omega is spending his prodigious talent to just speak eternally, I will be working on emotes as we go along.
Lucky's gonna come up with not with visual aids, but he's gonna doodle stuff while I have to talk a lot because I'm gonna have to talk a lot.
Yeah. So there's that, because again, I didn't want to necessarily push out what people voted for What's Up, but again, we can't skip on this week's Let's Talk FGO.
No.
So I decided to combine the best and worst of both ideas, and so here we are.
Yeah, it's just the stuff you got to do with the scheduling. Does this mean no What's Up this week? Probably, yeah. Almost assuredly, unless we feel very spicy on Sunday.
Super spiced.
No, Lucky will still read Mailbag.
Oh yeah, no.
He may just take a break from what he's drawing to read it.
Oh
also,
no, actually,
Mailbag will definitely be the 1 hour limit.
Oh no, I can totally get an idea. I'm just gonna literally copy paste fucking post. I'm just gonna post them in the art thing so people can actually see them. It's gonna be great.
That also works. Yeah, you can just pull them up on quote unquote screen.
Yep. No, I will be reading from Mailbag as usual. It's just I actually mentioned this. Even though we have our Patreons listen in, I am not paying attention one whit to Discord right now. I am all YouTube and fucking Google and art program.
Yeah, that'd be how it be.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I do want to kind of make up the fact that stuff got a little weird. I did end up doing a really long Super Gorilla stream on Friday night. I summoned forth the Yu-Gi-Oh! Brain Trust, and we played some games, and then we watched our own series, and then we just talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards for like 2 hours. I'm piloting my new Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast that's coming in the year 2025.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you can check that out. But since Lucky did mention our beautiful, beautiful patrons, let's remind everybody that this episode is brought to you in part by the help of our patrons, who include but are not limited to the likes of Adam Tar, Comics, Kazuyume, Architect 10, Lucas OG, Carlos, Qua, Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Senwell, Kylie 10, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rogue Robin, Charvor, Shawnee P, some guy named Bob, Soto Sono, for Tiver, 723. If you feel like we do want us to do more, consider supporting Patreon. You can access episodes early, lots of good, but it helps us out. Thank you for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
Also, yes, by the way, in case you've ever been curious, this is a live show. This is unedited. No, I actually do that. Read that fast.
Yes, you do.
And here we are. All right, that means I can close that tab.
Yay.
Also, yes, if you are curious, patrons will still get the audio of this. I am rolling the audio right now. So there will still be the audio version that's available to all our patrons for as little as $1 a month or $10 a year. It's cheaper than a Shonen Jump subscription. Why do I know that? Watch that 5-hour stream. Have fun. Listen, tune into the end when Robin is on mic after having woke up like 2 hours before and joined us midstream, and he didn't know the news yet, so I let him know that we're doing a live show, and I joked with him about, hey, you get to do Timecodes live, and Robin's like, no, I don't know about that.
I'm not sure about that, Chief.
Yeah. Anyway, here we are. It's Let's Talk FGO. We've done our regular intros and whatnot, so it's time, after the usual storytelling, to get down to the show. You know it's going to be a good one because we haven't... Well, okay, the introduction is a bulleted part of the outline, but we've done one thing on the show notes list, and it's already 10 minutes in. So,
hey.
First of all, I would like to let everybody know it's time for Wake Up Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips. Normally I have Mash do a little read here, but that's literally only on my end. I would have to like send the sound clip to Lucky to have it play on stream. So I'm sorry, audio only listeners. You're just gonna have to assume I hit the button, and we're just gonna get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's been like 10 minutes. I can say fuck as much as I like. Today's pro tip is very simple because we're running out of them. Be done with Lost Belt 3 by the 2nd of June, or be square. Also, you'll miss like 10 sync courts, so don't do it. Finish the Lost Belt 3. Do it.
Yep.
Nods. There's no records and no evil, other than that story Lucky told about, having to walk home uphill both ways in the snow.
In the sun.
In the sun snow.
That's blinding.
The reverse snow. So yeah, let's go ahead and scoot-doodle on to our next noodle segment and ask everybody, did you finish your master missions? Well, did you, chat? Did you? Ooh, that's a great rhyme. Finish the belt before you get pelts. That's good. That's good. I like it. Thank you, live chat. Anywho's, they're pretty simple this week. To complete your master missions this week, I'm going to need you to defeat 15 enemies of the Earth attribute, defeat 15 wild beast enemies, complete 5 quests, complete 10 quests, acquire 15 EXPs via drops, and acquire 30 EXPs via drops. So basically, God, I hope you did the hunting quests.
I'm going to be real.
Which are now over. I hope you did.
I did some.
I did some. Some of them I didn't give a shit about, but some of them I did. I unfortunately did not do my math correctly, and I missed my perfect steak run by like 2 steaks.
Oof.
I am like 2 steaks short of 10-10-10 Python.
I mean, you can probably go to a...
Yeah, I can just farm in Salem when they do that, maybe when they do half AP free quests or whatever. I got a backlog. But I'll get in there. But yeah, those are your master missions. You should already be done with them. Yeah, see, a lot of people did do it, yeah. You gotta get them.
Get them.
And if you don't get them, it's fine. You're gonna get plenty of Saint Courts in the next couple of days anyway. Let's start with the first of things. Hey, guess what, guys? No real JP news. There is some Figma stuff happening, but that's mostly just as Lucky has put in his notes, crying about your wallet. It's cool, but it's not super important news. So we'll touch on that later maybe. But we have a big heap and helping of NA news to cover. First item. Interlude campaign number 9, running from the 28th to the 3rd of June. Think about that date. It's very significant. So you're going to get Saint Court's interludes for Old Man Lee and Emiya Alter. There will be skill interludes for Arthur, his instinct fix, Osakabe Hime, her morph fix, MHXA, it's her healing skill, and Raiko, it's her arms mastery upgrade so that she can stay cool when Arjuna Alter comes out. Also, Wu gets an NP upgrade. In my notes, I wrote this as Old Man Lee's baby costume is available, a.k.a. his no glasses look. And glasses, the whole thing. The little extra stuff, the small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The summon banner associated with this is Osakabe Hime, Lee Assassin, Emiya Alter, and Wu Zetian. And, some of those are story locked, so it's not the worst banner, but also you know that a thing is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, we could say that it's news about the Fujino banner, because they did roll out the second banner, and they included Fujino in it for no reason. But didn't we already say last time about the call about that hypothetical?
Yeah, no, someone did suggest it. Is, Fujino in Summer 5?
I don't know for sure. I mean, it's got a horror movie theme, so it makes sense for her. I think, though, they just tacked it on, because I don't really know. I don't think she was a bonus servant, but I'm not sure. She is in it, okay.
Okay, yeah.
But, in the, when we suggested this before to people, and we're covering it now anyway, but, when we suggested it to people, it was because of, also, careful about spoilers, guys. We don't play JP. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing you can't take back. You're in a live chat now. I can put people in timeout. You won't find it pleasant. But, yeah, it was also universally suggested because her birthday was coming up, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's why it was hinted at, and then they did actually include her. So after, 3 years, she got a rate up. Cool.
Did they plan this around this time just so they can combine Summer 5 and her fucking birthday? Did they?
I don't know if they planned it, that much high level, but I'm sure it was oh, hey, the timing works out for this. Because it is true that this is a very unusually early summer rerun. But it does work out with the pace timing. Anyway. But the reason why the campaign banner in NA is still bait is because we've gotten our official Lost Belt 4 Yugashitera pre-release campaign announcement. No, it hasn't started yet. Sorry, guys, I ate just before this. I'm a little flummy. It hasn't started yet. I know, because trust me, I wanted to go do some free quests. I've got some staring at me. But anyway, this starts the 30th and ends the 13th of June. If you clear Lost Belt 3 by the 13th, you get 10 Saint Quartz.
Yay.
And you can get the reward for like an extra week after, but the big deal is you have to have cleared it by the 13th. Part 1 quests are all 1/4 AP. Part 2 quests through Lost Belt 3, are all half AP. It's called catching up. Excuse me, sorry. So we have an interesting thing about the free quest thing I mentioned. Lost Belt free quests are half AP through first clear if you've beaten Lost Belt 3.
What? Oh.
So if you haven't beaten Lost Belt 3, you don't get the discount on free quests. But if you have beat Lost Belt 3 and you don't have anything better to do, they're like, okay, you can do free quests.
Damn it.
So, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it should be tonight, technically, because it starts the 30th. Though I don't know, if it starts the 30th in Pacific time, that's technically the 31st. Time zones, I hate them.
What is time?
I'd have to double check what it says. Exactly, because we always have to do this with like the 3-hour displacement. For you darn dirty Pacific times. Anyway, the summon banner is regular Arjuna and Rama. Nothing else really fancy. In JP, there were a shitload of animation updates, but we already got those, so hey. Also, here's the fun one. The video premiere drops on the 2nd, the night of the 2nd of June. The guests will be Nobunaga and Aoyuki for obvious reasons, and it has a social media campaign worth 5 whole Saint Quartz.
Yay, Quartz.
Which we've probably already hit, because we were like halfway to 2/3 there on Twitter, and I don't even know what Facebook does, but I'm sure it's big. And obviously, almost assuredly, because there's going to be a video, there's going to be like another 10 Saint Quartz minimum, if not like a whole 30 or some nonsense, the whole thing. But yeah, so basically this means that Lost Belt 3 starts the 3rd, basically, because the video will premiere, and then that night there'll be maintenance, and then it'll start. So, rev your engines now, kids. Speaking of probable dates of things that almost assuredly will happen, Aniplex has announced that their online fest this year will occur on the 3rd of July, and they will have FGO animation news. Yeah, so if you guys don't get that, maybe you haven't been playing FGO that long, or you just forgot. It has been a whole year. But the July 4th weekend is almost always when we actually get our anniversary stuff, like banners, drops, whatever. Like, they started in the past couple of years to give us, like, 30 Saint Quartz on the actual anniversary day, but the big stuff and the streams and the whatnot always happen on that weekend. So the fact that Aniplex Online Fest is going to be the 3rd of July, and it has name-checked FGO animation stuff, means that this is the zone when we're going to get our anniversary stuff. So everybody buckle the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot of things to go through, to power through. Well, also, somebody said in chat, I don't think you can do free quests in Lost Belt without clearing Lost Belt. No, but you could clear Lost Belt 1 and then do Lost Belt 1 free quests. This is specifically, no, you can't get the half AP that way. But yes, we should probably get news about the Camelot films then, and also whatever the hell we're going to do, because I think they showed the graphic for Temple of Time Solomon on the tweet, if I remember correctly. People at home can double-check that for me. But, yeah, so that's just, we've got a lot of hard-hitting news. Obviously, there won't be anything outright for it, but we're going to pre-game you Lost Belt 4 in a little bit, so you should be pre-prepared for all the shenanigans that will happen. All right, well, Lucky, you wrote this down, obviously, and it's important to you. Do you want to read this last one out, or do you want to keep drawing?
Oh, I can read this last one out. Hang on one second. I've been entertaining people. So, this last thing here is something that only came out quite recently, is Heaven's Feel 3 Spring Song 3rd theatrical release. So, as you may or may not all know, actually all 3 Heaven's Feel movies are actually available for streaming right now. They're not on all streaming services. They're only on select ones like Google Play, the Apple iTunes, and a couple other I can't remember off the top of my head. But they are there. You can get them in both their English dub and Japanese with subs. But on top of all this, they've actually recently announced that they're going to actually be bringing back Spring Song, the 3rd film, back to theaters for a special two-night event. Basically, they've set the release for July 18th and July 20th. So it's a little while off, and hopefully it's far off enough that we're probably, no shenanigans will happen around this time. So, was it actually? Hang on, let me double check my dates, okay? Because now I'm like actually curious. Was it July 18th and 20th? I might be dumb. Nope, it was 18th and 20th. No, Lucky is not dumb. Haha, I'm a genius. So yes, July 18th and 20th. And I honestly do believe that this is probably due to the fact that around the time, like sometimes that, previous shows come out, some states have just shut down. Like, if you all do not remember, this was a big source of consternation for me back when they did the second, the second theatrical release, because it was literally days before I was gonna go see it, and my state shut down. It was mad enough that I sent Aniplex a very, I wouldn't say angry, but, urgent message. Be like, hey, yo, man, I'm not going to be able to see this moving. What do?
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunately timed, because it was like everywhere thought that it was okay. Like, restrictions were relaxing and stuff, and then it became very clear that it was not okay, and everybody shut up real fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was just unfortunately timed.
Yeah.
Given how that shakes out.
So and I guess this is technically mine. So I put it in here. It's not necessarily a news item, but it is something that's wild, and I love that she's coming around because my Twitter will explode with it. But Wonder Hobby 33 is happening right now, and all the Figma and their designs are coming out, including a lot of Fate and Fate ancillaries. I guess I call them. Oh yes. Right now I've seen they have a design for Third Ascension Common. I'm just like, my wallet's vibrating. Also, completely unrelated, they also believe they're gonna do a Chione figure. I'm all like, oh no, I'm dying inside, y'all.
All right, well, because we didn't have long drawn-out segments in the front, we managed to power through all the news, and we're only at 20 minutes. Yay.
I don't know. Are you sure you only want to do an hour mailbag?
I mean, there's 26. We might get through them all in an hour.
All right.
We do, like, Fanservant Fridays also not on this list, and we got to do the pre-game.
Well, let's see.
We're going to be us. We're going to ramble about a lot of stuff. I don't know. I mean, we did eat through the news very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see if it goes too long. But also, we do not have a super, super huge mailbag this week. So, I don't know.
So, actually, hang on. Let me... Okay, I read. Yep, we have 26, it says. Yeah, so... Okay, we'll play it by ear. My favorite way to play it. So... With that, it is time for everyone's entertaining as favorite segment, I guess. Words. I know them. Let's Talk FGO Mailbag December, where I read what you guys send in, and then we have a ye old fun time about it. Like I said, we're probably not gonna try and stay too long on this, but we'll see where that goes. And let's make this a little more interesting. So, yep, that's right. And then our first one comes from Alias, Detective Dipstick, who says, do you guys have those moments when I know that voice in any games or anime? I can't take Emil seriously without knowing that they have the same voice as Ilya. I mean, I can totally take Emil seriously, because that's a very serious game. And all records, and Sats 1 not. But... And to respond to your active questioning, like, yes, there are actually a couple times where I go, I know this voice. It happens to me more times than I could probably call off the top of my head. The unfortunate thing, though, is usually I don't actually remember the VA's name, and I have to go look it up. Most interestingly, in fact, when I was playing Persona 5 Strikers, I was listening to Alice, And I was like, wait a minute, that sounds exactly like Maeve. And I looked it up. Yep, no, they're both played by Sakura Ayane. I was like, but no, there's also like other ones. Like Juichi Tawabe. You know that man anywhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
I recently had a moment of this because it had been so long since I'd seen certain parts of Naruto.
mhm.
Like, obviously, I remember the funny thing that Shiro's VA is also Sasuke. That's always hilarious to me.
Yep.
Because if you think about the way those characters go, but I was actually playing through the Storm games, and I was like, wait a fucking second, is Sasori Merlin? Yes, actually, by the way, yes, it's Takahiro Sakurai. Yeah, and I'm like, damn, that's first of all different range, but also I'm like, haha, I'm glad I caught that.
Haha.
And you understand this a lot because Fate is a huge sprawling franchise with loads and loads of VAs, and same with series like Naruto and other long running character filled anime. You get a lot of this problem. So yeah, no.
No. So no, I get it. Like, but let's see. I think I'm pretty good with picking out Chiyo Saito, Sari Hayami. Who else would I say I'm good at? Jun Fukuyama. And I can't place his name to save my life, but Shinji's VA. I can't place his name. I know him, I love him, because he plays my favorite Arararagi-san. But I can't right now. But anyway, we are going to move on, so thank you very much. So this next one comes from... Whoops, that was the wrong button, me. That was also the wrong button, me. Keyboard, what are you doing? There it is. Whoop.
Trying to fix his alignment.
Yep. This next one comes from one who found online a throw pillow with a Rio Kagatora design on it. They say, question, have you guys done arts and crafts stuff? Stickers or cutouts, wood or metal carvings, that sort of thing? Maybe you can market them along with Tiiimmmeee Rabbit. No, not necessarily. Like I said, our merch, like I said, Lucky's taking a big hard look at our merch and being all like, I don't like this. I don't love this. I'm going to eat it. And so I've been slowly working on things on the back end to try and spruce things up. This is one of the reasons why I've been working on emotes and whatnot, so I can warm up my drawing hand so I can actually start making things. As for things in particular, though, not necessarily like stickers or cutouts or like carvings, but I have been eyeing the button department a lot. Even if Teespring doesn't necessarily do buttons on their own, buying a button machine, while is a bit pricey, isn't ludicrously so. And so that would definitely be something that I could probably do on my own. As I used to be a freaking convention goer, and I have actually helped a lot of artists and whatnot with their booths, like, printing button stuff. So I do know how to do it. It's actually dirt fucking simple. So I would like to do that. But if you all guys want a Tiiimmmeee Rabbit button sets, let me know, and I'll see about getting that going a bit faster.
I also want to throw out there, the way this question is phrased is a little weird. Like, have we done, like, yeah, I've done arts and crafts stuff at various points. No, I haven't really done any wood or metal carvings. But talking about marketing, I haven't personally done them, but technically we do sell stickers with some of our designs, but that's older stuff, which is mostly text or simple graphic based.
Mm-hmm.
But that is something that Teespring does very easily, is offer you, like, stickers and decals with your art images.
Yeah. So we will see.
So yes, the question of have you guys done is a little ambiguous.
But we shall move on, so thank you very much. So this next one comes from Sensual is Love, Sensual is Life. And they say, hope you're both well. I'm alive. I woke up with legs this morning. That's very important. Very important. But other than that, we are going to keep going. So, this next one. So this next one comes from SakuraFan07, who says, question, what was your first memorable event? Mine was the Onigashima run. That was a pretty fun event, and Writer Kentucky has been one of my all-star servants ever since then. Keep up the great work, and hope you guys stay chill no matter what BS Lives and LB4 throws at you. Love your work, and keep being awesome. No, you keep being awesome, and thank you for such a nice thing. Honest for your question, though, ooh, like,
my immediate thought when I heard this was like, haha, that's cute. You're new enough that you think the Onagaishima rerun was your first memorable moment. Like, we gotta reach in the way back because we were playing day one. I think for me the first event that was really really good and memorable was probably the first Guda Guda, because that was kind of in the oeuvre of a style of humor. It was honestly like 3 years ago and whatnot. It was kind of hard to be exposed to. Right? Like it that kind of stuff wasn't accessible in the West. So it was, kind of new in a lot of ways, the comics and stuff, and very fun and, to introduce Nobunaga and Okita, who were also not really, I mean, you knew of them, but none of their official material was released over here. Also, guys, shut the fuck up about anime voice actors in my chat. Stop it. Shush already. We're past that was like 3 questions ago. Oh my God.
Let them talk.
You recognize them. It's cool.
Let them talk. It's just a chat.
I know, but I'm looking at the screen and they're scrolling by. They could be saying something important. Yes, good at this stuff. Also, we are at ultra low. I don't know how well that works out for you guys. Hopefully, you guys are getting fairly good, swift responses. Ultra low is sometimes weird, but is usually good. But yeah, so that was for me. That was Guda Guda 1. Was like the first really good FGO type FGO event because we didn't have a lot before then.
I'm trying to think. Actually, I think it might have been the K&K for me, the K&K collab. Like Guda Guda.
Solid early one.
The what?
Also a solid early one.
Talking about Guda Guda Hanonji, it was good and solid, but at the same time, it was just kind of. It was just as much as it was just for haha. Shits and giggles, and then we got to the K&K collab, and things just were weird. Shiki's an apartment manager. There's all these servants living in these apartments. There's fucking Artoria on the fucking roof. Here's these fucking 6 ghosts with huge HP. I'm like, what is happening here? It was wild. So no, yeah, I would say the K&K sucks out just because it was so weird. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, it was very intensely along the lines of the actual K series. Which was at times very weird and esoteric and was literally out of order because, I don't know, when people were making the animations and they decided the release order, that was just what you did those days. Remember the late 90s and early 2000s? That's when asynchronous storytelling was big. We could tell shit out of order. Then people got tired of it. It got pretentious and we stopped.
Anyway, thank you very much. We will move on. So this next one, whoops. I think I messed that up.
He messed it up.
Alrighty. Oh wait, maybe I never took it in the first place. So let's try this again. There we go. Whoop. Alright. This next one comes from a hunter doing 3-mile jogs every day that they're off. Don't got any questions for you today, Scooterman, Lucky, and Shadow Rum Dweller Omega, so I hope you're both having a nice day and next week is better. Now, excuse me, I need to lay in bed as my legs screen. See? Oh, actually, hang on. Let's get...
Zoom!
No, Enhance! Hang on.
This is the thing we have to deal with.
Hang on.
Listen, we don't always speak perfectly good English, but...
Hang on.
You guys don't always give us perfectly good English to speak. Yeah, you gotta get your tools.
Yep, there we go.
We gotta draw the football play.
Yep, there we go. I need to lay in bed as my legs scream at me in pain.
Teacher Lucky's grading your paper. Found the red ink.
I found the red ink.
I've been to school. I know how this works.
All right, but no. I hope you are feeling better by now. It's probably been a bit. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, no.
No, Lucky. This question was submitted 37 minutes ago.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
This person is still dead. We pray for your safe recovery and return to life.
Yes. Thoughts and prayers. So, with that though, we're gonna move on. So let me do this. Yes, now you know I actually wanted to do this. So now I can fucking out you all. Too much power. Too much power I have. But doot. 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 Nice and big. Alright. So, let's see here. This next one comes from Ias, the one who congratulates. I believe that needs to be... Oh, hang on. That needs to be capitalized. Right there. Who congratulates. And then a comma.
These congratulates even... I don't know if that's spelled correctly. It looks weird to me. Me eyes. Looks weird to me eyes, Lucky. Yar.
Yar. And let's make this brush a little bit bigger. Let's make it an 8. Congratulations on being on FGO for nearly 4 years, guys, and the look that you had on your pool so far this year. Considering that each anniversary, the Lightworks has been giving out rewards for completing certain aspects of the games to players in the form of extra master missions, comma, which do you guys think would be better served for them to give for the 6th anniversary? 10 Saint Quartz for each Mystic Code at level 10, or... That's technically incorrect, but fuck, we'll just capitalize the or 3 Saint Quart fragments for each servant bond after bond 5. P.S. I agree with Omega that the Lightworks should be adding 5-star XPs to the Mana Prism shop. All of my stocks and constant farmings of XP have left me XP poor after the 9 SSRs and 5 SRs I've gotten this year. We need DW to give us some more free XP and QP by the time of LB4. Sincerely, Ias, the one who congratulates.
Vindication. It's not always often that people will publicly say they agree with me. So, okay, the hypothetical question, extra master missions. It's interesting that you call out for Bond stuff. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have some interesting play. We definitely talked about, I think, a Bond-related question last week. The Mystic Code one is interesting. I don't think they do it just because there's only, like 12 Mystic Codes in JP? Like, they've only added, 2 or 3 more from the ones we have right now in, the 2 years. So that's only, 120 Saint Quartz.
That ain't the worst.
Usually, if you're complete with all of these, you get, a lot of fucking Saint Quartz.
I guess that's true.
So, yeah, I don't know for sure. They could still do it, because that can be fun. And to be fair, they will almost assuredly be adding another Mystic Code because there is a new Mystic Code in the Solomon thing, right? There's no way they're not going to, release that as a real Mystic Code as well.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come up with something dumb to do. So I could still see it. I just don't know if that will have the punch that the Lightworks usually likes for these big extra master missions.
Mm-hmm.
I guess then the question of the 3 Saint Quartz fragments for every servant after Bond 10. I mean, honestly, you could just do it for every 10 servants you have at Bond above 5. You get 10 Saint Quartz. There's only 200 of them.
Actually, what I probably go for is every servant that you have max leveled, every 10, you get 10 Saint Quartz.
Doesn't JP already have that, though?
Do they?
Audience, let me know. Isn't there a reward for having servants at their maximum ascension or something? There might not be, but I thought there was something like that. Because there's quite a few different extra master mission categories. It may have been a limited time bonus mission of have so many servants at level 80 or 90 or whatever.
Oh, we're getting conflicting. Yeah,
like I said, it may not be the strict huge master mission dump. Okay, wait, I'm wrong. There's 300 servants. We have 200. That's right.
Yeah.
Still, that could be because it's currently 308. After we release the next couple, it'll be over 310. So they could just do it for every 10 servants you have at max ascension or at higher bond levels, you could get 10 Saint Quartz. Because if you've been playing the game a long time and you have literally everybody, you'll get a huge infusion of quartz that you don't need because you rolled fucking everybody. It'll be super ironic. Okay, so yeah, it was a limited time master mission. All right, okay. I was I could have been confused about that. Yeah, there's rank up in the interludes, and there's one for not Mystic Codes, but I believe there's one for having multiple. And again, this could be a limited time. I don't. It's so hard to tell. There was definitely one for having CEs at a certain level. Like you got a big infusion of Saint Quartz. If you had your CEs leveled, you need to have like at least one at level 100 by a certain time. Otherwise, you might miss some Saint Quartz. But yeah, so I don't know. They could do both then. Something related to max ascensions or levels, and to the other thing.
The other thing.
Bonds.
All right, but that is that. Like honestly, like I said, like 10 Saint Quartz for each Mystic Code at like level 10. Again, I think that's gonna give me like maybe 80 quartz, maybe.
Yeah, if that. I mean, obviously we have a couple of years to catch up because we're in Clairvoyance Land, but still, like, I think I've got like 3 or 4 right now at level 10, and like, you know, another 3 or 4 that I could easily get to level 10 if I actually bothered to grind them.
Yeah, like, let's see, off the top of my head, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I can say maybe I have 5 max level. Maybe up to 8. I don't know. Sometimes I go on a binge and I work on like a bit like on the summer ones or something. So that is that though. So thank you very much. Wait, did I actually get the next...
yeah, that's true. Technically, in one of the trailers, they did show us also an alternate new Mystic Code design that hasn't been used because we haven't gotten... The story hasn't progressed since they've made that trailer.
Which one?
The second LOSTBELT opening that happened after like LOSTBELT 5.2. We haven't actually technically progressed the story because 5.5 was like a weird main interlude thing.
Yeah. All right. So who knows? Maybe in the next, couple months.
When does the... I talked about it last week, but I've forgotten now. When does the thing end? 10 days. The 9th of June. Yeah, we'll get something.
Something's gonna happen.
We gotta wait a couple weeks.
Tonikaku! Boom. We're gonna move on, so thank you very much. Make it big! Here we go. So, this next one comes from currently on summer holiday. They say, last week you were talking about eating ants. Yes, I was. Did you know that in my culture, eating ants will make you forgetful? Or so they say. That's kind of wild and an interesting tidbit. I'm kind of curious which culture this is. Cheers, Lucky Omega, and take care with your food and health. I will try to not eat more ants because my memory is already shit. Man, legends are wild. Like, honestly, fun fact, Lucky would have probably had this all set up a lot earlier, but he started watching OSP videos. That,
Also, I'm glad you didn't, because to tangent slightly, because we are playing it by ear, to give you a little slice of what's up, I'm kind of glad we're not starting any earlier, because I broke my one rule I set for myself. Hey, remember how I talked about Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 didn't really do exposition? 3 solved that problem. It's called... We have in-engine cutscenes that are just the anime that you can't pause. Well, you can pause, but it's the usual pause, skip, or not. And we don't always save in between them. So sometimes you just have to sit and watch basically an episode of Naruto. Oops, all talking. So yeah, I was like, oh, I'll do one fight really quick, and then it's like, no, there's no save points. You have to do 4 boss fights in a row. I'm like, fuck, god damn it, Naruto. Curse you.
Curse.
But here we are.
Oh wow, that's funny. I'm gonna keep it like that. So, we shall move on. So control that. Whoop. Hey-o. This next one comes from Boing Alive in Michigan. No question today, just wanted to get something submitted in time. Hope you're having a good one. Having an okay one.
Also, to be fair, you submitted this like 5 days ago, sir, madam. You had plenty of time over the deadline. Good news. Lucky, give him a little red check mark. Good job.
Good job. Wait, hang on.
Well above deadline.
You get... Oh, wait, that's the wrong color. You get... a smiley face. Good job. So, we will move on then. Oh, fuck it, I cut cut it weird, but that's my bad. Mea culpa. Whoop.
We do that a lot.
Why is this? Oh, that's why. Layers are weird sometimes, guys. Boom, there we go. This one, their full one is actually no comma, but maybe Mao? And they say, hello, Lucky. Hello, Omega. That is all, thank you. You're very welcome. We'll move on then.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Mm-hmm. So, let me just keep going on here. Doot. I could probably streamline this in some fashion. Like, I could have maybe, like, you know, actually like cut them all out beforehand. But, hey, see the pants. Fuck it. Fuck it. I know what I'm about. That is not the right one, me.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Ah, that's why it didn't work. Okay. So this next one comes from, when will my serotonin come back from the war? Question. Which noble phantasm would you enjoy seeing in a proper movie theater setup?
I mean, I feel like the easy answer, because I'm sure it's gonna happen multiple times, is Lord Camelot, but you know.
Like, honestly, like the ones that, like, you know, really super stick out to me was 1, Stella, 2, Lord Camelot. Oh,
Stella's a big one, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily be like noble phantasms like in game, but like noble phantasms in scenes. Like, fun fact, yesterday I was just rereading Lost Belt 1 just for no goddamn reason other than it's Lost Belt 1. And just the scene where Avike Braun just uses the Minotaur's Labyrinth to as his MP. I'm just like, I would love to see that. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, that looked pretty sick. Hey, maybe when they animate that.
Yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, no, because that's technically Avike Braun's noble phantasm, is recreating the Primordial Man. He just did it on a much bigger scale than he did it in Apocrypha.
And while obviously I've already seen it, I mean, while I'm not necessarily a huge movie theater guy, if we could blow up Ketz's NP to, you know, IMAX size, I'm sure that would look fine.
Honestly, if I remember correctly, you can rent out movie theaters for private screens and just put whatever the fuck you want on the screen.
I mean, especially now in the year 2021, I would not be shocked if you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Theaters got to make that cheddar somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shoot, fuck it. Babylonia wants pottery in theater. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got some good animation. There's a couple of good things you could blow up pretty big.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think of some that maybe will not be so obvious, but unfortunately, not pulling up a lot.
Like, the thing is, a lot of the really cool noble phantasms, like a decent chunk of them have been visualized now, one way or another. Like they've been in like the Extella video game series, you know, which goes out of its way for the big spectacles or other stuff, and it's like, okay, I mean, we could put that on a giant screen, but
yeah,
would that actually improve it? Some of it will, sure.
I don't know. In the right context, I feel like Musashi's MP could be fucking wild. It's like a sword beam, but not. It just cuts. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I don't have a good answer for this. So, unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to leave it there. So, apologize for that, but we're going to move on. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, we move on. And this next one, boom, comes from, whoops, too big. I went too far. There we go. Comes from Alias V. Just V.
Spaces.
Hang on.
Proper spacing.
I don't remember what the fucking grammatical thing is for space, so I'm just going to make one. Oh, wait, actually, hang on. If I remember, actually, I think it... Whoops. Yeah, next time, if I ever do this again, I will better have this way better planned out.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Hey guys, watch Fail Portrayal. We've done like 4 of them. And you can tell in the first one we have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
There we go. I think it's something
as
like...
I'm pulling up Yu-Gi-Oh! Art assets.
Yep. So, they say, what is the one Ascension material you just can't get enough of? Also, what mats are you drowning in and will never get rid of? I need bones fucking constantly and feathers. Forever.
Stakes and right now bells, because I did actually get a decent chunk of Lost Belt 3 servants, and they, man, those bells.
I am still drowning in hero proofs. I still have over 500 of them.
Same. I also still have over 500. There are so many.
Guys, do you remember for like 2.5 years where we just get like a hero proof every day?
I think it was only like a year and a half, but yes, it felt like forever. I have so many. It's hero proofs, and I think I still have a shitload of seeds.
Yeah, but that's that. So, we will
wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yes. It's never too early to wish a Merry Christmas. But before that is always the Skeleton War. Oh, have I redone? Dude? No, I haven't. I should probably get that one done so I can make people doot in chat. But we're gonna move on, and the next one, boom, bam, pecow, comes from Zed, just Zed, who says, comment, hey, look at Omega. Well, actually, no, it's after, no. Yeah, fuck it. I want it to be capitalized. Capitalize that shit. Hey, look at Omega. Hope you're having a good day today. If not, I hope things get better. Question. So I have been enjoying looking at the live 2D of Boise's bunny scroll skin and Azure Lane. I thought of something. If Geo implemented a system where in the My Room, actually, fun fact, My Room is always capitalized.
My Room is capitalized. Also, I do believe it is officially spelled as smushed together.
Yeah. My Room, certain characters get live 2D sprites who, aside from the obvious choices of match, because main girl, obviously she'd be the first to get it, and your 2 waifus, because obviously you want them, who would you want to get a live 2D sprite? So, unfortunately, that really, like, do you know how many waifus I have? Sir.
I mean, there's like there's literally 308 units in game in the list. If they didn't do live 2D for everybody, it would be offending somebody.
Yeah.
If I were to prioritize it, I would say units who have costumes should get live 2D first, kind of like how Azure Lane does it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still also a shitload of those, so.
So, yeah, I know, like, why are you trying to make me choose? You trying to make me play favorites? Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna happen. All or nothing. All or nothing. Maybe an FGO too.
Oh, no. I just realized the next question doesn't have an alias. No, you goofed yourself.
Yeah, no, this is no alias.
Wait, no, it is. Is their first statement an alias? That's a very long alias that has no preface. I literally can't tell.
I'm pretty sure it is. I know this person.
Yeah, that's why I was sad, because we know this one. But I'm like, wait, it doesn't look like you didn't say it as from deer or whatever, and it's just a really long sentence.
Mm-hmm.
That I think is actually grammatically correct.
Yeah, so... Well, screw it. I'm going in anyway. And let's move on. Thank you very much for that. So, first off, hang on. Let's do... So, let's see here. Let's do...
Also, Legendary Boss Hunter, you're wrong. Eternal Maria Reshmas, because that gets added to main interlude.
And then we'll do put a hyphen here. You have hyphens between honorifics. But a Nason enjoying a pleasing plate of potatoes, peppered and prepared to perfection. They say, hey guys, hope you're all doing well and that your future roles are blessed. Thank you very much.
I mean, we usually say you don't need to put something, but the thing is just, when you're writing a whole gosh darn sentence as your alias, including with proper punctuation, that just makes it confusing. Like, you don't have to put, like, alias or whatever, like you can type, for instance, Zed just Zed. You don't have to type the alias part, but you do type it. So Lucky may or may not read that bit because he feels like it. But like I said, it's just when I read this, I was like, wait, is this first sentence an alias? Also, Lucky, this is a read more. And I feel like this one has broken one of the rules. They're asking us about not fate stuff.
Oh,
I'm gonna let you do a judgment call on whether or not you wish to display this long question.
All right, hang on.
Judge.
Wait. Ah, okay. I see. So this is what's gonna happen, alright? Hang on one second. Ah! I held that button too long.
Rip.
I'm not gonna put who is from. Whoops. Again. And then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. See? You see all that? You see all that? And then I'm gonna do all that. That's how I feel about this. Moving on. So, like I said, this is one of the things, like, the question here necessarily, like I said, you tried to start it off with FGO, and then you tried to curveball into your own interests. It's like, you trying to be sly? You trying to be sly? Your slyness don't work here.
It's because Omega's always reading ahead on the question, and even if he wasn't, Lucky would have hit read more and been like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so let me go on here. So, let me see here. Let me do this. And then this.
Looking at the sound waves.
And here we are. Okay. So, this next one comes from a master sipping tea while a Resh and Nitocris argues who gets my soul when I die. A favorite phrase of mine goes like this. Getting old is mandatory. Growing up isn't. Lucky, I apologize if I offended you by calling boy, but also how dare you assume my age? That's just rude. I mean, kettle black.
The cycle of rudeness.
If you're calling me boy, I think you were the first one to make the assumption there. Malperson. Also, it has been I have verbally established in our Discord that I believe, the oldest person in there. I think there might be someone who might be the same age as me, but I'm still older by them by, like, months.
Lucky has the power of seniority.
I do. So, while I'll definitely say that it is not unlikely that you are older than me, it is not impossible that you are older than me, I should say. It's very unlikely. Listen, Lucky's in his 30s going on 13, as he likes to say. So, as they say, with that out of the way, my question for the week is this. If there is one member of the Indian Pantheon that you would like to see in Lost Belt 4, who would it be and why? Stay safe, healthy, and keep being awesome. Honestly, me? This might be interesting, but it'd be Sarasvati. Because we already have Pavarti. We have Lakshmi Bai. She's not the goddess, but she's still Lakshmi, which I find hilarious. So the only one we need to complete the fucking Hindu like feminine goddess triumvirate is Sarasvati, which technically is in Mel. That is, Sarasvati is one of the three that makes up Meltrilus. It was Levian, Artemis, and Sarasvati, if I remember correctly.
As seen in her noble phantasm, Saraswati Meltdown.
Yeah. Hey, Kakuto's in their 40s.
I cannot answer this question because I wrote the pre-game. I know everything that happens and will happen, and all the units who are in it.
Oh.
So, My answer is either would be perfectly factual and thus there's no hope, or would be lies because I know they don't show up. So I'm just not going to say anything.
Interesting.
Also, by the way, I don't think I said it at the start because we were in the middle of the whole rigmarole. But when Lucky did give the spoiler warning, there will be semi-spoilers for the power of Lost Belt 4 because I'm going to read you the pregame. You'll have to hide your virgin ears or something. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. So there's that. We will move on. So let me just... Oh, this one has to read more. Hang on. There we go. Let me do this again. I know what I'm doing. Clearly. I will get faster at this, I swear. Am I being dumb? Yes, I'm being dumb. Keyboard, help me. Save me! Somebody...
Also, yes, you, yes, Seal Argonaut, you are a baby child, but that's okay. We once... they did actually get older than that, but we had a member of the community once who wasn't even 18 when they joined our community, which was slightly awkward.
Yeah.
But if they lied about their age to any services or buttons on Discord, that's their own fault and not our responsibility.
Nope. So, this next one comes from Merkava, a.k.a. that one guy playing Under Night. They say, I'm eagerly anticipating our serving of spicy curry... Oh, man, I want curry now. I think I'll make curry, and then I'll use the leftovers to make curry rice balls. Fuck yeah. Sorry. Lucky I got distracted by food.
The true Faf energy.
Spicy curry Lost Belt. But my mind keeps going back to Tristan animation updating JP and the loss of his wicked harp solo MP. My question is this. Is there any animation updates that you are not a fan of? Hasta luego.
I think the only thing I can think of is, and I don't remember, I think they may have gone back and fixed this, but one of the things was that when Drake's animation update first hit JP, they cut her line where she yells like, you know, heave to. But I think they did actually edit that back in to correspond with an animation. Because people were upset, but if they hadn't, that does make me slightly sad. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen, now that I think about it, I haven't seen Tristan's animated up NP. I've seen him do his other animations and clips, but I haven't seen him do his NP. I mean, I gotta be real. I don't think his actual NP animation was super sick to start with. He just wails on his harp bow for a little and shoots lots of beams. I
mean, wicked harp solos are a thing, so... Like, there's some things you don't necessarily miss until it's gone. But though... Sure. Oh, actually, yeah, that reminds me. It was on Twitter, but the Camelot Twitter actually released a compilation of just sick action moments from the second movie. I'm all like, oh man, they really are going like nothing but all out on this. I'm guessing movie 1 is literally just settings and characters. And like, okay, this is why you're here. And then movie 2 is like, okay, everyone now fight.
Honestly, that sounds like the way a plot for a Fate story is. Like think about Babylonia, right? Yeah. Like there are action scenes and there's some pretty sick animation, but until Gorgon, like stuff doesn't go crazy, and then it kind of dials down for a little bit, and then the last section, like once Tiamat actually comes out, is like nonstop action ramp. Camelot is actually kind of similar. Like you get some small fights in when you like escape the desert and go to the walls and stuff, but like it doesn't go ham until you literally invade Camelot, and then it just does not stop.
Actually, that is a question. I wonder
There's also an action shot of Agravain. I saw the shot.
Yeah.
He's got an axe.
Yeah.
Terrible when.
He's so scary.
He's a 3-star. We know this from he's a 3-star. We know this from the stage play. They gave him a silver border.
Maybe this anniversary they'll just give us a bunch of free 3 stars. Be like,
oh
boom.
God, that would be great. Like I appreciate the bronzes, but I would love. It's been a while since we had a good, cool release of 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Delightworks, wow me, come on. I know you were very busy last year and you had to kind of miss some of your big hits for the fiver. I would love more free units on anniversary. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a nice day. So that is that. Like honestly, I don't think there's necessarily any animation fan updates that I'm not a fan of. Especially, like I said, day 1 players. We have seen the barest of bones animations. Just ooh,
Caster Ball.
Caster balls. Generic, just smack it with a sword.
Yes, the quote-unquote saber animations, which several characters who weren't sabers had. Do you have a sword? Do the same 3 cuts.
So no, that's all. Like I'm of that. It's not the best mentality, but I'm just all like any improvement's good. It's just good. But with that though, we shall keep going on. Whoop. Let me grab this, all of this, and then I'm gonna.
Yes, this person does not have a long question. But they formatted it in a long way.
And whoop. Here we go. Okay. So the next one comes from The Man Who Sims Part 6, The Chad Within. How long is this gonna go? Anyway, they say...
9. I'm going to say 9.
Boop. So this, they say, hello, dear Lucky and Omega. How was your week? Mine was fine, just farming my natural AP on a hunting quest. I did get...
capitalize I.
Mm-hmm. I did get, NP7 Salieri, though, so that's great. I'll give Tho a pass, because that's slang.
Yeah, that's an informalism.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an academic writing setting. It's okay.
No. Question. Let's throw reality out the window for a second. Well, I am now currently lost in time and space, and I can't complete my given task, as I am being invaded by the multiverse. Be right back. And I'm back. You guys did not know, but 10 years have passed. I am much older, and I fucking hate everything. Where were we?
There's a ProZD skit about this.
Really?
Anime time skips, yes, actually.
Ah, okay.
I was, while you were doing your joke, I was trying to see in my mind if I could formulate the mouth noises to imitate the old school Doctor Who theme. I don't think I can. So you're just going to have to imagine it.
I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember it.
Woo, do, woo. Only it's way more sci-fi because they use, like, theremins and shit. Anyway.
If you can pick any media for FGO to have a collab with outside of Tiiimmmeee, what would you pick? Sorry if the question's been before. By the way, we do use punctuation here. By the way, my pick would be Persona SMT. It would be a mess and a completely train wreck, but a very stylish one. God.
Nope.
That is not. Good luck and arrivederci. Oh. Outside, like, I don't mind this question, but it is a kind of a, I have to actually think. Like, what franchise?
Well, we've definitely been asked this before. There's no need to apologize, but it is factually correct. This has absolutely been asked before.
I don't remember.
But I'm fairly certain we've been doing mailbag for probably getting close to a year. Definitely like 6 months.
And sorry, I've been gone for 10 years. I don't remember shit.
The Persona one is I think a very obvious one because of the folklore lineups.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what else what would even be a really fun one to pull.
I definitely wouldn't mind having Monogatari collab. Let me get fucking SSR Shinobu. That'd be great. Vampires. We need more vampires.
I mean, we've definitely joked before about the great Nasu Kojima collab.
Huh? Metal Gear.
That's where you don't play the game plays you.
Mm-hmm.
Meta twist.
Like, I'm trying to think. Oh. Oh god, no, fuck it. No, fuck it. FGO X fucking Nier. Let's bring Yoko Taro into this equation and see what happens.
Yoko Taro makes gacha games. It's not crazy.
Actually, yeah, no. Actually, I forgot to mention this, but I forgot to put Nier Reincarnation in the fucking list because I am playing that. I do have it. I did get in the closed beta.
Neat.
It is very neat. Actually, I could probably pull it up on the stream if I wanted to. I have to figure.
Well, are you allowed to do that?
That is a good question. I don't think I actually signed any non-disclosure agreements.
Okay, fair enough.
But maybe be polite.
we'd have to. We might want to double check with our legal department, which is me. So we'd have to see.
Yeah,
Right.
but yeah, no, like give me some Drakenir. Like I said, that sounds like a fucking singularity. No, manga man, no. Let's see if you did a fucking
Listen, I know that Tiiimmmeee makes technically safe for work games, kind of.
kind of.
But even with Fate's background in Eroge, that might be a little much. Someone said in chat though, Fate X Thunderbolt Fantasy would also just work.
Honestly, yeah, no, that'd be great. I love it. That reminds me, I mean,
like, yeah, because they say it already happened, but technically, yes, they did do a Saber style.
See, people are asking questions now. No, ignore it. Erase that word from your memory unless you like pain and suffering. What have I done?
No, it's fine. Listen, somebody said it in the chat. You guys got to solve that on your own.
Oh.
Code Vein is an interesting setup.
Well, yeah, but Code Vein's... Well, I don't want to say that because that's technically a spoiler. But...
I mean, it's been a couple years. You can say it's connected to that other franchise that those people make.
Yeah, it is. It has been a couple years. But... I think we've faffed enough on this. Enough.
Yeah.
Actually, hang on a second here. I got like so many fucking layers here. Hang on, let me just delete some of these real quick here.
Yeah, just erase everything. Start over. Return to 0.
Return to monkey. Let me just click all these. Then I'm gonna hit this trash can. And then delete. Okay. So, we're gonna move on. This is very short. Control V. Control T. Whoop. This next one comes from Alias41A, who says, "Hello, Lucky Omega. Hope you all have a great weekend." Thank you.
Sorry.
But we're gonna move on. Also, remember to wait. Why is this so big? Oh, that's why. Don't forget your periods. Or your exclamation points. Whichever one was happening there. Alright, but... let me grab this. And then do that. That was the... Why can I never remember? I've been doing it. I've done it like 80... Well, not 80 times. That's an exaggeration, y'all. I've done it several...
You've done it like 20 times. Not an exaggeration.
Control C? I mean, the control... Oh, wait, is it just being... Wait, am I just... Wait, maybe... Oh, that's why. Alright. So the next one comes from King of Apples, who thinks this weird statue in the hunting quest is sus. Very fair, very fair. They say, question. We know that Rongominiad and Sun Wukong's staff are pins for the world's texture. Are there more? What might they be? Will we see servants with them as noble phantasms? So... So real quick, yes, we do know that. That is in the Fate wiki that Rongominiad and Wukong's staff are pins for the world texture. Unfortunately, they don't really have anything else about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, do we know that?
And like I said, like this was actually one that I've actually pre-read because it like sometimes I check in to see the numbers pop, and this one popped out and it caught my attention. So I actually did a bit of research. And yeah, no, these are the two that are confirmed as anchors for the world's texture. And unfortunately, here's the weird thing. Like, the definition of the world's texture is super fucking vague. And
Correct.
it's basically just reality. These are things that keeps reality in place. And
I think the most important idea is that one, that the texture is kind of supposed to like set the rules we're all operating under, but also that the specific underpinnings of the texture make sure to keep the world and the reverse side separate.
Yeah.
Is the big thing people are concerned about, at least with Rongominiad.
Yeah. Now, so I want a quick research bender on these weapons and any similarities they might have, and honestly, what's crazy about these two weapons, which makes them unique, is that they're actually not unique. Literally, Sun Wukong's staff, the Ryunjing Bang? I can't remember. I can't pronounce it to save my life. Was literally just a giant iron pillar that he found in the Sea Dragon's palace that he thought was fucking cool. And Rongominiad, while it was very cool in FGO, it's actually stated in the fucking Matter of Britain that it was actually not special at all. It was just a divine weapon given by God. It doesn't actually have any inherently special powers.
Yeah.
Also,
with the pillar in the Dragon King's palace, Sun Wukong could also duplicate it, shrink it, grow it, do lots of other fun stuff because Sun Wukong is super OP.
Yeah, no. Like, all that stuff is because Sun Wukong is Sun Wukong. The fucking Dragon King's wife said it was, no, it's a fucking useless ass pillar. See if he wants that. It's wild.
And then it, like, he touched it and discovered it was, like, one of the fundamental pillars of the universe or something, and he's like, sick, this is mine now. Also, some people have brought up the thing about Romulus's spear. That is not an underpinning. Like, I don't think his spear is actually supposed to be a spear. It is the Tree of Rome. It's the Spear of Beginnings, as opposed to Rongo's Spear of the Endings. They are not necessarily supposed to be like doing the same thing. It's just they're supposed to be marvels on a similar tier. Because there were supposed to be a lot more thematic connections between Romulus and Lancer Artoria. It's just early writing. Early FGO bumps.
Yep. So, on your question, so no, there's not officially anymore. There's not. What might they be? Well, the best way to probably think about this is, one, probably some sort of staff or spear. Two, have something to do with maybe both worlds. And three, maybe actually has some historical significance. So, unfortunately, only one necessarily comes to mind off the top of my head, and believe it or not, it's already in FGO. It's the Heavenly Jeweled Spear, which Rise uses, which was the spear that Izanami and Izanagi took to the place between worlds, between heaven and earth, and churned the seas to form the island of Japan.
Yes, because the Shinto origin myth is very weird and esoteric if you've never read it.
Yeah. Like,
the stuff was in space, and then it started vibrating, and it sorted itself out into some different shit. Very esoteric.
Yeah, so I think for what I know on the qualifications right now, I think it fits, because there's nothing necessarily inherently special about the spear. It's just a fucking cool-ass jeweled spear that they took with them. Given by the divine, and since it was used in a place between worlds, I think it'd be interesting as something that, keeps reality in place.
Well, Atlas holds up the world with it, and also he holds up the sky specifically. He's keeping the sky and the earth separate for a reason.
Yes.
I don't know if that translates as a spear or anything.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I don't remember where it is, but speaking of OSP, you could actually, check it out. You can check out their Heracles vid. Red did a video on all 12 labors. That will almost assuredly say where that was, because this is Greek mythology. Everything has a canonical place it happened.
Yeah, it is.
So there is literally a spot where the Greeks thought Atlas should be standing, holding up the sky, and it's close to the Gardens of the Hesperides. I think that's where the golden apples were, and Ladon. Awful snakeman. Anyway, snake dragon, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. And also the jewel. The interesting thing is, I think it's stated in like her profile, the jeweled spear that Arise has is supposed to be like a replica of the real one.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, it's almost weird. Fucking, if I remember correctly, fucking Ryoma Sakamoto might have the actual spear.
Yes, they even talk about this, because it was supposed to be the spear that was pinning Oreo to the land, and then they were like, yoink.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little nebulous. It's something that's not clear. It feels to me like they're trying to, like, I didn't realize this was a parallel when they started this thing, but actually now it seems like it's a very interesting, deliberate parallel. That I feel like Erisei is kind of fulfilling a similar character role to Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Like where, yeah, Gray actually has the actual Rungo Mini-Ad, but she can't use the real Rungo Mini-Ad part all the time because of reasons.
Mystery. Mystics. Yeah, no. Like again, hey guys, fucking case files and Requiem win. Give. Stop being butts and give.
Print light novels in English. We will buy them.
I will buy them. Listen, I just bought the first volume of 80s.
Canon. We buy them.
Yeah, we buy them.
We buy mangas too.
Mm-hmm. Like you just put in like an order of $100 for like some books and mangas this week. I bought me more Nier books, and I bought me some manga, and I bought me some Latin novels.
I pre-ordered me some Yu-Gi-Oh product, but also after the month rolls over, I'm eyeing up a Kickstarter for a new.
Mm-hmm. So, with that though, we move on. So, bam, and then bam, and then whoop.
Is that one?
Well, we'll see here. The next one comes from, well, here I go genociding another world. Again. They say, hello there, fellow Masters Lucky and Omega. Come. Hope life's been treating you. We don't need an S there. But we do probably need a has.
Well, you can put an apostrophe S that way. It's a contraction.
I guess that's true. Still, punctuation. Life's been treating you kindly. Don't have much to say, so just gonna ask, what's been your favorite moment or sequence from each FGO story arc out of NA so far? Arc 1, EOR, and Lost Belts 1 through 3. Have a great week, and may the Gacha God smile upon those rolling for Gajuna soon.
Okay, so you don't have much to say. You're gonna make us say a lot instead, as you ask for 3 things immediately. Also, definitely answered this question a lot.
I don't know if like necessarily in this particular way, but like honestly, arc 1, it's Solomon, man. It's just Solomon. Like I like that's another thing I just fucking watched because I wanted to the other day. I just read like the penultimate and climax of Solomon. I cried. For Epic of Remnant though, some people might find this weird, but I love the climax of Agartha with fucking Fergus Lily. Like, I love that scene of him just saying, like, hey, you know, a true hero, you know, saves the world and gets the world. As, you know, he is, like, drilling his rainbow through this fucking island and burning in poison. It's like, no, you go, man. You go.
No, I mean, climax to Shimosa.
Mm-hmm.
There was a sword fight. It was cool on me.
Mm-hmm. You like swords?
And for Lost Belts, are we both gonna say Punch Golem? Golem Punch?
Yeah, Golem Punch. Like I said, I literally watched it the other day.
It had a CG. Great.
I mean, fucking, you know, Salieri's like, take all my anger and my rage as he's just wailing on a fucking piano. Mash comes in. Mash comes in. Musashi slices, and then you're like, Golem Punch! Like, no, it's good. Like Lost Belt 1, they really hit the ground running. Jesus. Just thinking about it, like... Actually, like, the more I think about it, like, Lost Belt 1, like going through Lost Belt, like, 1 through 3, we've actually kind of had this weird... I don't want to necessarily call it de-escalation of action. But, like, in Lost Belt 1,
I think the scale of the fighting has actually ramped down a little bit. Like... In Lost Belt 1, like you're about to say, we have like some giant on giant action, right? Like we get super huge. In Lost Belt 2, there is literally a giant of fire, but we fight that guy as a bunch of small guys against him kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then in Lost Belt 3, our enemy actually sheds his giant form to come 1v1 us, bro.
I will punch you. I will permit you to punch me. God, I love that so much.
And we're gonna see how the Lost Belt 4 shakes out.
Mm-hmm. So like I said, like Lost Belt 1, there was a lot of stakes. Like we had no idea what was going on, where we're going. We're in fucking Russia of all places. Shit is fucked. Oh God, everything
was very dangerous, very very minimal resources, and everything was very very large, literally in Lost Belt 1. You know, we had the giant, you know, vodka hydras to fight. You know, big enemies, big forces with the Prince-Niki and stuff, you know, who were just shitloads of them. It was a very interesting, like, scale of the stakes, like you said.
Yeah. And then, like, in LOSTBELT 2, yeah, we still had giants, but they were kind of like this mindless mob kind of thing, and... Like, honestly, now that I think about it, I really don't remember the action much of LOSTBELT 2. I mean, we punched the...
2 had... I think we even talked about this when we did our, like, 4-hour episode on it. 2 had pacing problems. 2 had a lot of literally making you go back and forth on the map and punch a lot of giants for no reason.
Yeah.
And then in 3, they kind of dropped that to make it more character-focused and beat for beat, but that does mean literally less action happens. Like, the action moments in 3 that I think of the most are Paisen loses her shit.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And angrily rains on us a lot. and then the climax with, you know, destroying the palace and then becoming the perfect form and punching.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, again, by default, it's cool, but it's very compacted action-wise.
I will always give a shout-out to random-ass fucking Shadow Border clones, though. Did they need to be
the
there?
first time it shows up when they play the fucking summer music. Pretty funny.
Yeah, no, so... You know, like, there's definitely moments I like to go back to. But, alright. Let us move on. How many do we got left here? What's the mission clock at?
So we have been recording for 1 hour and 26 minutes.
Oh, so we have gone basically an hour. How are you feeling,
Omega?
We
got like 5 left.
Oh,
I'm fine. We'll probably have to take a quick intermission after we wrap up the questions, but we only got a few, and most of them, let me click some of these read mores. No, most of these seem pretty short.
All right, yeah, so we'll keep going. Shout out to me for making a semi-accurate guesstimate about an hour. Hey. So, we keep going. So, do. So the next one comes from mildly confused Master Myths over miraculous luck on alt. Hey, Lucky Omega, hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy your weekend. Go! I recently had the chance to watch the first Camelot movie in my country, which is itself quite a surprise, and I decided to give it a watch because, despite most of the reviewers being poor...
Who are you listening to?
Yeah. Oh, okay, actually, no, my inflection was on this. I'm wrong. And decided to give it a watch despite most of the reviews being poor. There we go. At the end of it, I can't really understand why it was received as poorly as it was. Granted, some aspects were changed, rip Huntress face Hassan and Tota, but all in all, it really wasn't a bad movie. At least in my opinion. There needs to be a space there.
Yes, at least there's not one.
Man,
also, each other is 2 words as well. English as she is spoken.
Wait, where is it? Anyway, I can't find it. I'm gonna read it. It was really bad. Oh wait, here it is. At least in my opinion. Or maybe I just have shit taste. Regardless, I can't wait for the second part, which seems to be going great by a teaser with Lancelot's game body by Princess Eggplant. No questions this week. Just wanted to talk to you guys about the movie and hope you guys get to see it for yourself soon. Stay safe. Also, I'm fuming that my alt has better luck than I ever did. Cheers.
Okay, 1, your alt's luck is just your luck. This is why I don't do alt accounts. That's just you. You're dividing. It's like shadow cloning your luck, guys. You evenly distribute your luck between all the clones. It doesn't work.
Don't do alts. Why? I don't actually understand alts. Like,
this is one of those reflexes that I don't understand, and I don't want to be mean to people who like it, but it's one of those things that I really personally don't give a shit about, and I'm like, okay, cool, I guess you have alt accounts. If you enjoy playing the game that many times, more power to you, but please, I don't want to.
You know, like, I can kind of understand people playing in JP because, you know, they want that JP experience. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but then you can't read anything. You're spending extra money. And, you know, there is this version that, you know, that is 2 years behind, but you'll get there eventually. But then there's the people, like, someone's going to feel called out, and please, do not actually feel called out about this. But I know people who will actually have, like, you know, a JP account, an NA account, a Korean account, a Chinese account. I'm just like, why do you play on so many different versions of the same game? Please explain this to me.
Yeah, that I don't, just the luck thing. I don't. This is why we don't double up, because it would be a huge pain in the ass to play. It's already enough of a pain in the ass sometimes to play the game that we can read and understand and we have poured money into, let alone doubling that. Let alone doubling that. I don't know. But, like, hey, whatever. If you like it, you like it.
Do I want pizza tonight? No, I want curry. Can I put
You
curry
said
on?
curry already, Lucky. I know pizza's great, but you can save that for a different time. Order pizza before Star Wars tomorrow.
I might do that. Or maybe I can make curry pizza.
I don't like the direction this conversation is going. Next question, please.
Well, not exactly the next question, but I did want to actually comment a little bit about the...
Oh, right, yeah. That's it, right? We never even talked about the Camelot thing.
Yeah. So, I can understand why some people are upset. A, because they're fucking people and they're on the internet.
Correct. Yes. People will get mad about something no matter what.
But to be fair, like I said, some people were probably wanted, as always, wanted a more faithful adaptation of the Camelot series. Or Singularity, excuse me. And probably got miffed that they didn't get what they want. Like, as you did mention, they, Hunterface and, Tota was cut.
Yo, I gotta be real. Tota only does one singular plot-related thing. Like, he's got some cool moments.
Mm.
You know how usually, Lucky, we play a story and we're like, cool, I want that character? I don't feel that way about Tota after Camelot.
Yeah.
He's just kind of there. He's all right. I don't hate him. But as a unit, he doesn't really do anything interesting. And as a character, he doesn't do anything really super interesting. It's cool that he makes unlimited rice that one time. That's neat. Okay. That's not a vital plot point, right?
Right.
And then, as much as I wouldn't mind more 100 Personas because 100 Personas super jobbed in Zero, and also in the event we did about Zero, again, they don't do a whole lot for the plot. They're just kind of part of the comedic Greek chorus of the Hassans.
Well, to be fair, I did enjoy the comedic Greek chorus of the Hassans.
Yeah, but pacing-wise, obviously, if you're cutting Camelot into 2 movies, only a few hours, you got to trim some fat somewhere. So,
like, actually, has anyone seen has anyone actually who's seen the Camelot movies seen if they actually go to the Atlas Institute?
That is the only question we get.
Cause like I said, like, plot stuff happens in there, but it's not necessarily related to Camelot as a whole.
Yeah, you would not need it for the movie.
Oh, they don't?
Okay, so people are saying they don't or not yet. Yeah,
Okay.
It's interesting. That would probably raise more questions than it would answer, though.
But yeah, no, because then I'm questioning, like, how did Mash find out? Did they change that whole understanding who you are? Did they make it more dynamic, like, everyone else wanted it to be? Then Holmes just shows up and is like, nah, give answers now because I'm fucking Sherlock Holmes, bitch.
Holmes shows up and it's like, guys, I know you weren't saying it, but come on, all of you knew. You figured it out. Stop. Like, when Sherlock Holmes, of all people, is like, guys, just say the fucking answer. It's over already. You're like, okay, we've clearly reached the point where we need to just say it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see the films ourselves, like they said.
Mm-hmm. But, like, no, like, honestly, do not take the reviews of others as a reflection of your own taste. I think I should say. If you talk to people you trust and they're like, yeah, I didn't like this, or they're like, yeah, I don't know if you'd like this, like, that's fine, but, like, just hearing random rada on the internet, Yeah, nah, don't.
Like, I keep that stuff in mind as I formulate my own opinion, but I still like to see it. Like, we've seen it just now. We talked about Epic of Remnant stuff. Like, there are some EORs were not popular when they came out in Japanese, but we played them for ourselves, and we were kind of like, yeah. Like, I think the thing that surprised us the most was, one, everybody was super, super negative about Agartha, which we were most, in general, just kind of and parts of it were okay.
Yeah.
And then nobody really said shit about Salem, and then we both played Salem, we're kind of like, wow, that was not the best idea. Parts of that were cool, but some parts of that were not cool. So it's you have to, like, see the work for yourself to, like, truly judge. And if it's not important enough to you that you don't want to go see it after you hear reviews, then it's not that big of a deal, and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to like sound like I'm committing to, no, you must experience every piece of media to judge it. No. But if you give a shit about a piece of media, you should judge it for yourself and see and only take other people's opinions into account. Don't actually just take reviews. There are so many games that people say are bad or whatever. Well, I mean, we've waxed long and hard about Cyberpunk, for instance.
Yeah.
On consoles. By the way, Lucky, did you see Cyberpunk is tweeting out rando fact? They tweeted out that Pan Am was the most desired romantic partner, and I was like, yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah, no, she's great. I need to play a guy just so I can bang her in a tank.
Yeah, that was my second thought. Only she was a universal lovin'. Also, by the way, Lucky, have you seen that new Far Cry 6 footage?
Yeah, no, actually, it looks pretty good.
Sick, yeah.
Listen. I'm excited to pet an alligator, though. Yeah, that alligator will be my best friend.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna whistle. It's gonna kill people. It's gonna be great. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. We got a couple left. Where are we at?
Where are we at? Listen, Lucky don't play Far Cry the story. I just want to shoot. I just want to shoot things. I know what I'm about. Let's see. Where are? Oh, here we are. Okay. Let me pull this one up. Hooah!
That could also be a thing. Somebody in chat said that they've heard that movies are more an adaptation of the stage play. That would make more sense because the stage play is like a more contained version of the beats, you know?
Yeah.
Which is also perfectly fine, especially because they haven't released that over here either. If we are in Discord, I would type ! Shake fist.
Shake fist.
Anyway, I believe Lucky has the question.
I have the question. So this next one comes from the 253 crew. That makes me question something, but hey, shout out if you're actually from 253. Question. What's up with Ishtar's eye changing color? Whenever Ishtar uses her noble phantasm or get excited, her eyes change from red to yellow, but I first noticed this in Summer 2 when Summer Ishtar is excited about resurrecting the Bull of Heaven. This phenomenon occurs in Ishtar, Summer Ishtar, Ishtar in the anime, Ereshkigal, and Space Ishtar, but only to the big one floating in space. I would chalk this up to more Rin Tosaka shenanigans, but her eyes are blue at all times.
Okay, so, fun fact, guys. You can always tell when it's Ishtar and when it's Rin. Rin's eyes are blue, Ishtar's eyes are red. In the Nasuverse, red eyes, because eyes are all important, having red eyes is a sign of the divine. Notice how Gil has red eyes. And sometimes other characters have red eyes, and sometimes they don't, because I don't know if Nasu actually remembered to hard code every single character like that. And sometimes characters have red eyes and they're not. Anyway, the red eyes are a divine thing. She's a goddess, so she's got red eyes. I don't know if they've ever explicitly explained, maybe in like an arts notes or a Matt's book, why her eyes specifically turn gold, but that's like when she puts on her serious face, because this is Nasuverse and everybody loves weird eye things. So when the goddesses get serious, her eyes turn gold. That's when you know you're in danger. Chuckle. Haha. I don't remember if they've ever explicitly stated why it's gold or why it like what triggers it specifically, but that's like, yes, the Ishtar has red eyes all the time because she's a goddess, and then they turn gold because that's her version of serious face. And yes, it is a consistent theme that happens all the time.
So, with that explanation out the way, we will move on. So, ciao! That goes there. The next one comes from the Yenzer, who says, Dear Lucky Omega, with Summer 4 on the horizon, which Summer 4 servant are you looking forward to the most, and why? Whatever your answer is, I wish you the best luck in getting them. Well, as usual, Lucky's going to be a mad lad and go for all of them. But in particular, I definitely have to say I'm looking forward to, Survival Gamu, Tiiimmmeee, famous star Lambda, and Bun Artoria.
So this banner 1's pretty cool. It's got a Tiiimmmeee on it. It's got Phantom Thief Carmilla, and it's got a.
Oh shit, Carmilla! I forgot Carmilla. No, I'm sorry. Please don't torture me.
And Musashi on this banner too. That's pretty cool. But the second banner has like a jet-powered Okita, a prima donna, and a bunny Artoria. So that's pretty cool too. You know, they're all really cool. It's almost like they want to steal all my money or something.
Lucky. This is why Lucky is literally in like survival saving mode. I'm trying to recover.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot about Camilla. She's gonna kill me.
She's gonna run you over.
And then back up.
In her Testarossa maiden. her iron Ferrari.
Ugh. Alrighty. But we will move on. So. Doop. Yeah! Alright, so this next one comes from Gahulian God, who says, which servants, apart from Da Vinci, Sherlock, and MASH, who are full-time Chaldean staff, are the most and least dedicated... Wait a minute.
No, I think this is one of those hypotheticals, Lucky.
Okay, guys, I want you to remember, if you are going to give us a question that literally has us to divide, go through, and shift through over 300 servants, and then put them in nice little neat rows for you, all in a consistent time scale, I have to ask, what are you smoking? Would you give me some? Because that is absolutely a ludicrously and batshit insane idea to give to somebody. I am not.
I have several times tonight name checked how many, or number checked rather, how many servants there are currently in JP. It's 308, by the way. I typed it again in chat. It's a lot of servants to sift through. We're not going to do that.
No. Also, again, like on your question in general, just remember, remember, we don't force servants to come help us save the fucking world. They choose to be summoned, and then we make.
The correct answer to your question is all the servants you have summoned, buddy. Good job. Thumbs up.
Like, as I said, I think many of them has gone on record saying, it's like, yeah, this ain't my usual fucking chick, but I like this world just as much as everyone fucking else does. I do all my evil here. So, yours, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Actually, no, let's be mean. Let's be mean. Hang on, here is it. Let's get big with this. And then I'm gonna get the white in just...
So I'm sure you guys are seeing this all in real time because of ultra low, but I'm watching the preview, which is slightly delayed even on ultra low. So I'm just like, I hear Lucky make noises, and I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do? He's got the white out. Okay. Final two.
Okay. Final two. Boop. And then this, and then Control V, Control T. Whoop. Let's cover the shame. This one comes from Hachama Chama. Brownie points if you read this in the voice. No, this isn't Akia Hato. I can't do the voice. I can't. It's too high.
Hachama Chama.
I can't. Nope. Not gonna do it.
That's as close as you're gonna get.
Hachama Chama. Nope.
Didn't got it.
Nope.
Lost it.
Lost it. It's gone. But they say, greetings, Lucky and Omega. Excluding Babylonia, Camelot, and Solomon, which singularity EOR or LOSTBELT would you like to see translated into light novels? That's an interesting question, light novels.
I mean, I would say none because they won't fucking import them, but hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, I would say 3. LOSTBELT 3. Because the interesting thing about, like, that is I think they would actually be able to do a lot more description on, you know, what people are thinking, saying, and doing. And like as we talked before, LOSTBELT 3 is very character-driven and focused. And I think that would actually benefit the most from a full text translation, adaptation.
Yeah. It would I think have the most bang for their buck in terms of like giving us more detail for sure.
Curious, will the video quality go up after it's archived? Oh, was there something wrong with the video quality?
I mean, hypothetically, if you have a bad connection because we are live streaming with ultra low, YouTube may be prioritizing you at a lower P level. I believe Lucky is probably streaming with enough like juice that YouTube will be able to up-res and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I stream at 720, so it shouldn't be.
It should definitely be available as that once it's properly back processed and all that stuff.
Yeah, I apologize if it's not the cleanest. I'm sorry, I did not know. But yeah, so my answer is LB3, and we have one more. Let me see here. Hup, hup, hup. Hoopla. And then there we go. Whoop. There you go. So this next one comes from Moon. Is currently Sam with her brand new Tristan. She couldn't do the stakes hunting quest because her finals started. I need more of them for Saito next year. Question. Good day, Lucky and Omega. Oh, Omega's capitalized, but I'm not. I see how it is. I see how it is.
I mean, I'm looking at the preview. I'm looking at what we're raw outputting to YouTube right now. It's fine. Like if I full screen this, it is perfectly readable. So The raw video is fine. It's just possibly going a little fast. Several other people have said they've got 720. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But they say, what servants do you plan to save for next year? My list is long, but the top targets are Dioscuri, Voyager, Doman, and Saito. Next year?
Biggin. Okay, so I've been pre-prepping for this by looking up events next year. I've also been shocked that guess what? In 2020 in JP, there are a couple months where not a lot of things happened. That'll be fun. Starting off, I'm interested in Say Shonagon, but I don't know if that's a big one. I think my first big one is going to be when Lost Belt 5.5 comes out. It's called Canis. Going to be a big deal for me. And then, believe, is it after or just before that? Where is... No, it's, Ian Spring Breeze is late March. So that's Odysseus. That's technically before that one. It's another big deal. Big fan of Iliad and the Odyssey. Not Voyager himself, but Kyokoyo is also going to be on that same banner. Dino Wife. It's going to be a little fun. Nothing happens in June. Not joking, by the way. There's like 2 events. Nothing in that one. So then it's going to be summer. Summer's got some fun stuff. There's like 6 servants. I don't know if we want to like go all down that list again. But
well, he's going to do what he does every year and get to go for them all.
Second banner is particularly spicy. I do actually give a shit about Castor Artoria for, reason that I do like arts. So that'll be fun. That anniversary. Then I think the next... No, there's 2 big ones, and that's right. Because Himiko is that year also. That'll be October.
Yep.
And then I think it's not until December, which is another clusterfuck of a lot of stuff, because there's Heian Kyo, and the second banner of that involves Ibuki Doji, who is cool. And then after that is Christmas Vishra. Though Vishra is permanent, so we might, with Ibuki and Muramasa right around the corner, that might have to be a skip. We'll have to see.
For Lucky, he'll be starting off the year strong. I'll definitely be throwing down for Yang Guifei. But after that, it's the usual suspects. I'll be going for everyone on summer. Going for Himiko, Vitra, Ibuki Doji. Kyokoyo, definitely. Dino Wife is great.
Well, if you're asking why you can't read because you're on your phone, yes, it's entirely possible that your screen is too small to read well.
So,
there's a lot of...
and yes, I'll also be going for Castoria because I'm going to make the Invincible Arts team with her and Tamamo. It's going to be great. Okay. But that's that.
Yeah, all right, that's our mailbag. That only took us like... maybe 15 extra minutes, and some of that was just because we yelled at people.
I yell at people sometimes.
So, we're going to take a brief intermission. I'm going to actually pause the audio version of the recording. I'm sure Lucky can yell at you or draw in silence for the video bit of the stream.
I can.
I'm going to take a short break. We're going to intermission, and then we're going to come back to the power of LOSTBELT 4 Pre-game.
Yeah.
So, I'll see you in a second. Okay, audio's paused. I'll be right back, folks.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to be right back myself because we're going to be sitting here for a little bit longer. And I want to go get me a snack. So, hang on one second. So, let me just be like... Is my... Oh, that's why. I'm dumb. This is why Lucky's not a great artist, y'all. So, I'll be like... Burp. We're back in a couple shakes. Whee! it's ice cream! Yeah! Boom! I'm back.
Not perfect timing. I'm also back.
Nice! Let me control this. Okay, I'm gonna pause on this art here because I got me ice cream. It's a drumstick. It's vanilla.
Okay, so Lucky's gonna eat ice cream.
Yeah, I am.
While I talk. As we have a lovely mailbag in the books. What was this? Tab 2, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go to the show notes because I'm going to deliver you the Lost Belt 4 pre-game.
Yay!
So if you haven't listened to one of our pre-game segments before, basically the idea is I'm gonna give you a rough overview. It will avoid major story spoilers, which can be avoided anyway. But I will obviously be talking about some of the various mechanics and gimmicks and length of the story chapter, so you can be prepared. So that if you don't want to go in blind, you don't have to. But if you do go in blind, usually, you should, shut your ears now. Okay? Because otherwise I'm going to make you unblind. I'm going to de-blind you. You're going to become resighted. So this pregame actually isn't too long, but that's honestly because we're reaching a point with Lost Belt complexity where, guys, it's just easier to let you know that there'll be weird shit and you should look it up if you care or have a hard time than to run through literally every fight gimmick because God, sometimes they have so many buffs and stuff. It's hard, guys. Anyway, Lost Belt 4 pregame. So let us begin. I kept trying to write a joke for the pregame in the intro, but they're all bad. So anyway, Lost Belt 4, being the fourth Lost Belt, requires you to have completed Lost Belt 3 to do it. Duh. But as a reminder, complete Lost Belt 3. You need to do that. So, interestingly enough, compared to some of our previous stuff, we're getting back to a little bit of a meaty section here. Lost Belt 4 Yugoshtera is composed of 20 sections, so completing it will net you 19 Saint Quartz, 1 Holy Grail, and a new CE. LB4 also has an additional 10 free quests, granting you 10 more Saint Quartz for a total of 29. Gee, Delightworks, would it have killed you to add one more free quest? Also, completing it will unlock Asclepius and Ashman. I wrote it. I'm not going to try and say it. I know I'm bad. I'm sorry. In the story gacha, and it will also unlock a costume for Karna. This is the first case of a story completion unlocking a costume, though not the last. Also, while there are a fair amount of no battle pips, as is pretty usual with FGO story releases these days, also some of these sections have a lot of pips. 3 pips, I think, is the average, and some of them get up to 5 or 6. It's not uncommon, so buckle the fuck up. Okay, we're in here for the long haul. So, LB4 introduces a new, much-anticipated mechanic for story chapters. NPCs will finally have a special CE equipped. It will give them 50% starting NP and 50% NP gain up. Thank God. Mm-hmm. Ooh. So, yeah, that advancement is finally coming. So you can actually, not have those story supports just chilling, not giving you CEs and stuff. It will also be possible to switch the order of mandated servant setups, where previously you couldn't futz with such setups at all. So there are times when you're like, oh, I gotta run solo, or oh, I gotta run with 2 servants, and you can't futz with what they give you. Now you can actually reorder those. So you can, not that I think it will matter much except for one specific quest we'll talk about later, but yes, you can futz with your story fixed setups. Cool. LB4 will also make heavy use of the new setup party after dialogue feature we've been introduced to recently, which is also great.
Yes.
It means they don't get to hide the stuff from you. You get to read the thing, and then they're like, "Yo, set up the story. Set up your." It's good. It's good stuff. Okay, so I talked about some of these gimmicks. So first of all, Yugoshtera has some of its own unique gimmicks, of course. Not just does it have new stuff going forward, but it's got its own special things. First of all, get ready for some battles with mandatory support servants. So, battles where you can only take the support servants on story setup. But also, it includes at least one, and I say at least one because I think it's the only one, but I really have a hard time double-checking because there's a lot of pips, okay, guys? There's a lot of pips. There's only so much a man can do. But in this one, you get 3 story support servants plus your mash, which is probably why the being able to adjust your setup lineup is important. Now, as for whomst your story supports are, you can look forward to major India support from the likes of Karna and Rama, obviously. Newcomers Ganesha and Lakshmi Bai, as well as some cameos by Neja and Ashman. Nothing crazy, but you'll see him a couple of times. But another big gimmick thing, though, you want to look out for is expect persistent story-related buffs and debuffs. Yeah, it's one of those. One of the most common ones is you're going to start battles, and you're just going to have a constant card type down in all 3 card types. And also your HP recovery is going to be down, and your debuff resistance is going to be down. But as you advance the story, these debuffs will slowly get less effective as you move through. Cool. Great. So, expect some of this early segments to be a little bit tougher than you might expect. They're not going to lowball you, but you can go up as you work through some things. You will also experience buffs, which are story-related, such as NP gain down, healing up, HP per turn, etc. You can also get some other support bonuses from story stuff, kind of like how Merlin helped us out that one time, such as story support offering you free evades or giving enemies defense down. The cool stuff. So, a lot of playing around with buffs and debuffs and story stuff, etc. Very fun. Now for mobs. Expect to fight a lot of wolves. And a lot of bladed insects. And a lot of boars. Pretty common stuff. You will also fight new variants of bicorns and soul eaters, who are both in their normal class. They just have Indian names and slightly different sprites. Not really super expressive. You can also expect the Shantak birds from Salem to return as Garuda enemies. They're also caster birds.
Caster burbs.
There's also going to be a reskinned Chimera, which is a rider, thank God. Not a Berserker Chimera. But there will be new Berserker enemies. There will be Berserker Crocodiles, which are called Kali, and their powered-up form called Kali Sangha. Yay. There's also a new Lancer boss mob called Mahanaga, which is a large enemy. It's a big snake.
Big snake.
It's winged, actually, but it's a big snake. It's a Lancer. So, yeah, these will be your new mobs included. New mobs, of course, means new mats. Yay! Who doesn't love them? The Kali drop one of our new mats. Stand arrows. Don't you fucking lie to me. Don't you lie to me, FGO. I know what that is. That's a motherfucking JoJo reference. And the Mahanaga drops Genesis eggs. You heard that right. A uncommon boss mob drops one of the new Ascension materials. You love to see it. By which I mean you don't love to see it. You, in fact, hate to see it. It's bad. I hate it. Luckily, there'll be a free quest where you can beat up Mahanagas over and over again to try and get your fucking Genesis. Also, by the way, thank you, Psyche, for your super chat. Appreciate it. So, mob HP can vary wildly. Some of these trash mobs, like, you're gonna fight some of these wolves, they're gonna have as low as 20k HP, okay? Like, we're talking, like, Ember Daily levels of HP. But in general, most of these ads are like 50 to 75k-ish. Boss mobs are usually 100 to 150k-ish, Decently meaty, but not incredibly chunky. Now, for bosses, hopefully you've played enough FGO to know that you have to fight your own allies at least once, always. So prepare to fight every servant I've already listed at least once. You can also be expected to fight new banner characters William Tell and Asclepius as well. So you can expect some singular HP pools, some of which are upward of like 500k. They've got some chunky single HP bar bosses. Or break bars in the 100 to 300k range, though some weaker bosses will only throw like 100k HP bars at you. Enemies do stuff when you break bars. Who could guess? This is also such a common mechanic that I would add like an extra page if I literally ran down every single story boss fight and what they do on a break bar. Just be prepared for shit to happen when you break bars. This is the world we live in. So, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a couple of persistent story bosses who are berserkers that you need to watch out for. They are usually crawling with huge amounts of buffs. It's very annoying. Now, several of these fights will require you to just hold on for a set number of turns or until you eat an NP. My only advice here is, other than bring Team Tentacle, is carefully evaluate these fights and consider, like, even if you're playing mostly blind, no spoilers, when you get to them, double check to see if it's a scripted fight or you have to actually win it. If you're struggling. I know sometimes FGO makes really, really annoying fights that you don't have to win, you just have to struggle against, but, it's got a whole thing. So, keep it in mind. In at least one of these fights versus a Berserker boss, a certain alter ego will join in. This will complicate your strategy. Be aware. Especially because I don't think alter egos are technically weak to anything other than Berserkers, but everybody, yeah. Okay, so this is technically a spoiler, but there's no way to avoid discussing this. So we're going to do it a little. Also, you've probably seen it, and also I think it will be in the PV when it comes out, the CM. In the penultimate story fight, you have to 1v1 Karna versus Arjuna.
Yeah.
Which may be a little RNG dependent. You'll have a lot of buffs on your side, but so does the other guy, who is completely immune to debuffs. So no Gunder stuns, everybody. You cannot debuff this man. So, like, there's a specific strategy, like, you'll have a Guts buff that gives you a shitload of HP, so you can eat at least one enemy NP that will probably happen, but there's a lot of RNG involved, so maybe hold on to your seals, if you can.
Oh, alter egos are weak to comma. Technically, this is correct, but not everyone has a comma. I'll make sure to put my comma on support, though.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll slot her in for my assassin slot if she's not already.
Yeah.
That's a good choice, yes. I'll have to remember to bring her to that fight, because it's a Berserker v alter ego. That motherfucker is dead. He's going to space. Comma, good in the Indian Lost Belt. Who could have guessed? Now, the fun thing is, our final battle will combine two of our favorite things. You'll get your Cryptor Duel and your Tree Battle. So, you'll have to overcome Ashman plus Seals, and also the Tree. Guess what? The Tree is a Berserker, and it likes to rapidly charge its NP while also being resistant to NP damage to start. So, this is also going to be a fun one. At least you'll have Tree Rave music. So, yeah, no. Expect there to be a lot of big, chunky, showy boss fights ramping up to a climax that is a couple of back-to-back rough boss fights. So, you got to get ready to get in there. And, again, because there's going to be a lot of Berserkers, do not be afraid to bust out Team 10. I know I won't. I'll make sure to put either Abby or Hokusai on my extra. Also, do you want to throw this out there? If you've forgotten, Ashwataman is, or Ashwataman, whichever way you want to put that, he is an archer, so keep that in mind. Kill bosses. And that's basically all the preamble stuff. You know the number of nodes, you know about a lot of the major boss fights, you know what characters to be prepared for. You guys can kind of do some of your own research, and honestly, half of you don't even listen to me when I talk about this segment later. I get so many people on Discord being like, yo, what the fuck is up with this fight? And I'm like, y'all know you're in my Discord, right? Do you listen to me?
You'll come in here, you come in my house, you ask me these questions.
So, like, yeah. For this, I decided that making it simpler and more broad is better, and just focus on the big things you need to know. You're going to need decent amount of damage output. You need to know there's going to be a lot of certain classes. Like, there's going to be a fuck ton of Berserkers between all the bosses and mobs and whatever, so prepare accordingly. There's a couple of weird shits you need to keep an eye out for. And the last couple boss fights are going to be really cool, but also probably going to punch you in the dick a little bit. Protect your dick. But the release of Yuga Kishtera will come with a new banner. It will add to the permanent pool SSR Moon Cancer Ganesha, 4-star Saber Lakshmi Bai, and 3-star Archer William Tell. It will also include new CEs, Twilight Holy King, La Folia, and Day After. I don't remember anybody rambling about those, so I don't know how cool they are, but, you know, they look... Yes, it took you 3 times to spell Tamerlane. But, yeah, no, you guys have your tools. You know what you're prepared for. Now, after about a week, there's going to be banner number 2. This is the important one to most people because these units are not permanent. It will include limited SSR Berserker Arjuna Alter, who Arjuna Alter, often called Godjuna, etc., is kind of a new meta thing. He's got a lot of very freaky damage output powers, so he's very important to a lot of people for farming. They did also just buff Raikou, so, you know, you don't got to go ham, but if you're interested in the chase, that's the banner you want. It will also include story-locked Ashwataman and Asclepius on the actual banner. And a Karna on rotation as well, plus the new CEs. So it's a decent banner to be on the lookout for. And honestly, that's really it. This is going to be super interesting. I know a lot of general bones about the story, but it'll be cool to read it all.
Oh yeah, that's
and get into these fights, you know? I'm super hype about this Karna costume.
Oh, I am too.
It's pretty sick. And yeah, no, it'll be interesting to get it out there. If you guys are curious, the assets and script for Wanted Ganesha are already done. I just need to shoot him. I'll do that probably. I don't know, Memorial Day's free. I'll probably do it Memorial Day. A couple days before it comes out. So that'll all be ready to go, and then I gotta probably immediately start scripting an asset for the Arjuna one as well, because that will be like literally a week later. Yay, FGO! Making me work.
Making them work.
But yeah, that's all ready to fly. We'll have plenty of fun facts and assets for you to look at. I even did a little bit of because I think I talked about last time it came up. I've been thinking about altering my thumbnail style slightly, so I got a different design look, inspired by kind of some of the stuff Lucky Murasaki vid.
Yep.
The general feedback I got, because I showed a couple of examples, is that people still prefer the sepia tone a little bit, but the text needed to be a little clearer. So I kept the sepia version, but I spiced up the actual text with undesaturated red colors to kind of pop. So you can definitely tell that a text is there, and if you're not looking at it on like a tiny thumbnail on your phone, you might actually be able to read it.
Yep.
So got a little bit of extra clarity in there. So hopefully that will be a good one. Though this unfortunately means that as you're doodling Floor Lucky on stream here, Floor Tier Rabbit, I do have to let you know, Lucky, that it's almost June, which means that you've got, maybe less than a month before Mao comes out. So
I want to
if we're still on task to do that, now's the time to start getting that ball rolling.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I'll do it.
Write that sticky note.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's basically the pregame. The only thing I think I'm concerned about is you may have noticed I read out those list of enemies that included, even if they're reskinned classes, that includes the likes of Soul Eaters, Bicorns, and Chimeras. Hopefully that's not too much. But I don't know, it'll be all right. There's not freaky DK mobs.
Yeah, if it looks like I'm doing a lot of nothing on here, it's because I kind of am. I'm trying to figure out how I best want to portray this being on a floor. So
yeah, the angle's pretty good, but I guess it could just be leaning back.
Yeah, no, but like I said,
environment.
Well, see, the thing is the size of this image is the max size that Discord will take as a image. So yeah, like that's its full size right there. So I'm just trying to is there enough happening in this emote, or do I need to switch it up? So that's why I've been playing with a lot.
You could export it right now, upload it to Discord, and test post it.
Oh no, that's actually what I'm doing right now.
Oh, okay, that is what you're doing. All right, cool.
Yeah, so I'm about to
Great minds.
Yeah.
Because we'll get to see if it actually looks like it's laying on the hypothetical floor.
Yeah.
Because we use Discord in night mode like civilized humans. Also, because I like my eyeballs in my head. God. As I tab over to my bright white document for Google Docs. Does Google Docs have a night mode? I should probably do that, because I stare at Google Docs a lot, if it does. But yeah, so keep your eyes out, have some fun with the banners. Remember, obviously, once again, to remind everybody, the first half of the banner is permanent. After the banner ends, you can roll them at any time. Not before, though. So keep that in mind if you're your rolling preference. I am personally pretty excited about Ganesha, because Jinako's kind of... And, Yuki. And William Tell as well. But also, William Tell is a 3-star, and let me tell you, when Anniversary comes around, I'm going to be rolling a fuck ton on that FP gacha, so...
Yeah.
We're going to see what the haps is. But for me personally, not for Arjuna Alter in any way, but I will probably be doing something on the second banner for Asclepius. Yeah, in the context, that looks pretty floor. Maybe if you, you could possibly, rotate him a little bit so the ears are a little more perpendicular. But otherwise, that looks pretty good. I don't know. What do you think?
Let me see. Rotate him like this? Or like this?
Hold on, I gotta wait for the chip. Oh no, the other way. Rotate him so he's more flat relative to ground. Yeah, that might be working. Make him look more parallel. But I don't know. It's up to you. It's your emote. That's the only thing that comes to mind looking at it to like really sell the floor image.
I can cut off a bit of the ears and make it a little bit bigger. It's fine.
Also, yes, Asclepius is a hardcore healer. And some people have noted that for the most part, he blows a lot of the higher level healers they've given us out of the water as a 3-star, but he is story locked. Yeah, I'm interested in him just because Grick. I understand how this works. An Argonaut, cool. He's got a whole thing. Zeus blew him the fuck up for bringing people back from the dead. Because Zeus is kind of an asshole, and he doesn't really understand how to restrain his problems. Hades just calls him up and is like, "Yo, bro, this guy is bringing people back from the dead. That's not cool." And Zeus is like, "I'll take care of it."
Done.
All right, he's your problem now, bro. Hangs up his god phone, throws it in the ocean. Bye.
Poseidon's like, the fuck.
Oi. Poseidon's upset that he used to be cooler in Mycenaean Greece, and then there was the Greek Dark Age, and then for some reason the modern post-Dark Age Greeks decided Zeus was the coolest. Cultural, mythological drift. Cool. Anyway, now we're just stating OSP facts out here. Those are the thoughts I have on pre-game. Keep in mind banners and all that fun stuff. We'll see how it goes. Wanted is getting ready to get itself recorded. It'll be out there. And remember, patrons get access to video releases early, so they'll get access to Wanted a day or two before it goes hot. That's very... Looking at the emote, very floor. Just like, hello, I am become floor.
You think that's good?
Am I right?
Yeah. Well, overall, I just feel like the emote's just too small overall. I'm just like,
I mean, that is true. Even when even when we're playing it on its own and not when you text it gets compressed, it is a little small. But I know it conveys some of the energy. Sorry, I just had one of those weird self thoughts. I'm like, what if it didn't even have a face, man? Like, what if it was just face? And like, then my brain is like, wait, does that even work? What are you saying right now? You don't know visual design. I'm just rambling because now that we're done with the pregame, it's time to do our other big segment that we are prepared for, which is to bring up Fan Servant Friday.
Yay.
Because, we didn't do Teach Me this month. I almost said week. Also not this week, but also not this month. We took a break off to gather some things. And I've got some hypothetical ideas to bring it back next month to write down. We got to see what's up. We'll definitely pilot these out for patrons as well. These ideas. I don't know if we're gonna go continuous until all the topics are gone, or if it'll just be kind of like a beta test to see how people are excited about Teach Me coming back. Which one of these pops to people. We'll do some polling and testing. Is what I'm saying. But Fan Servant Friday continues, so I have to go. I know who won, but I should double check a couple of just to look at all my. Yes. No. Yep. So out of our winners.
Yeah, it's gonna need another redesign, but I'll work on that later.
I mean, the cutoff look definitely seems like it puts the head more into focus. Sorry if we sound like we're talking about nothing. Lucky, as you can see, is fiddling with the drawing and stuff.
Yeah,
working on it. But yeah, so Fan Servant Friday should be not a shock to anybody, but Red Riding Hood won.
Yeah.
So it's it was kind of a big blowout.
Mm-hmm.
And I think somebody said this in the comments for a video or something, or a patron thing, that they switched their vote to Tamlin so he wouldn't be alone. Because he did have 0, but that made it so that Red Riding Hood was at 69%.
Nice. Wait.
Very funny. So that was it. So yeah. Next month, spoiler. Well, let's do. Let me read about Red Riding Hood first. Talk about next because I've already got the idea planned out. But okay, so I hope to gosh that y'all out there are at least passingly familiar with the concept of Red Riding Hood. Alternatively, Little Red Hood, Little Red Hood, Little Red Riding Hood, Red Riding Hood, etc. This is why I say I hope you're familiar with some version, because actually, there's a fuck ton of versions. There are prototype versions which you may discuss, but the older, like, firmly locked in version was by Charles Perrault. Le Petit Chaperon Rouge. It was collected in his Mother Goose Tales in 1697. And basically the prototype versions of this story, to kind of give you the summary of the myth, as much as we can, because again, a lot of variation in this classic folklore archetype. Right?
Right.
Big archetype thing. Perrault's version is like a lot of his versions of fairy stories, very heavily moralizing and often more sinister and a little bloody. Perrault's fairy stories and like Mother Goose stories were like the technical full term of that collection is called Tales and Stories of the Past with Morals. Period. Tales of Mother Goose. No period. So yeah. He introduced specifically the Red Hood. I believe in some others it talks about her wearing a like golden hood or cap, which could totally be like, if this was an FGO implementation, a cool like ascension thing, like on level, get like a gold cape, you know, super shiny, glowy. But the Brothers Grimm did also do their own writing in their collection, which was obviously heavily influenced by Perrault's version. It took a lot of beat for beat. But they kind of adjusted some of the things forth. The overall, like, beat for beat of it is that there's a girl of an indeterminate age, because it can be lots of things, is going to see her grandmother. She goes through the spooky woods. There's a wolf, or a werewolf, sometimes. Because this is another thing that's a fun folklore fact. The French and some other Central European really obsessed with werewolves.
It's like they had a wolf problem or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird werewolf imagery and stuff in like northern Italy, France, parts of Germany, and just be like, yo, look out for werewolves. But yeah, so Red goes through the woods, runs into Wolfman, and he's like, hey, yo, you want to hang out? And you know, whatever. You know, trying to trick her into like getting in there so that he can eat her or something her. Like I said, there's a lot of variance to this myth, and there's a lot of subtext that people have interpreted on it. This will actually come back when I talk about the servant stats, because you know you can get weird with fate when you have big open to interpretation multi-spectrum folklore. But basically, she ditches the wolf in the woods, but does tell him where she's going. So the wolf goes to grandmother's house, and it usually eats or murders or gets rid of grandma somehow and pretends to be grandma. And then Red comes in there, and then, again, depending on the telling, sometimes she's like, oh, hey, you're not grandma, you're Wolfman. Red kills the wolf. Other times, Red is a complete sucker and gets eaten by the wolf because, holy shit, Red, how could you believe that wolf was your grandma? My, what big teeth you have and all that. And in some versions, like I think in the Believe It, yes, in the Charles Perrault version, Wolf Dude just wins. He just eats Little Red. and grandma, and that's where it ends because Peralt is letting you know, hey, they're gonna eat my wolves. Sucks to be you. Um, it's basically the late 1600s, early 1700s version of Stranger Danger. That's canon, by the way. He actually explained what the story was about for once. I believe it was the Brothers Grimm, but it might be other later versions, which start introduce elements of the woodsman. So, in this case, a guy comes along, figures out that this wolf is a wolf and has eaten some people, and cuts his belly open with an axe. And of course, because the wolf ate them whole, Granny and Red come out fine. So there's a lot of different back and forths of whatnot with who gets there. So that's kind of the basis I was in when I designed this servant. The simple version is Red Hood, though obviously you might not want to be able to do that because that's a DC character. But it's shorter to write and type Red Hood every time than Red Riding Hood, but also makes slightly more sense than just Red. You could probably say Red for short.
I'd probably say Red.
Berserker. This was in the poll. Some people were curious. We're going to get into that. But the general idea with picking Berserker was the idea of kind of... You'll see with some of the skills as well. The thing that a lot of people have interpreted onto this myth is that Red is just completely dumb fuck innocent. Like, she's just wandering through the woods and a wolf is like, hey, yo, what's up? And her response is not, holy shit, a talking wolf. Get me the Spanish Inquisition or something in here. It's, oh, hey, wolf dude, I'm going to see my grandma. Like, and the various other things. So I kind of went for that kind of, like, not necessarily having the strongest grip on sanity and rationality, you know? A little bit of that madness enhancement. Being a little weird there. True neutral alignment, because, again, truly neutral. This story could be literally anything. For stats, so for Berserker, went for kind of middling to low on some of them. Strength C and C. You know, you are Berserker, so you do get madness enhancement to boost that a little, but not a big deal. Agility B. Mana, magic power, MP, whatever, D. There's not really anything magical about Little Red in the stories. Luck A. Very important. High levels of luck. Yes, she does get eaten by a wolf, but there is a passing huntsman who decides to kill that wolf that comes along in some versions, so I'd say that's lucky. Not that lucky, the other kind of lucky. Lowercase lucky. NP B. So, went for madness enhancement, just D+, like a little over D. So, like, for the most part, if you talk to Berserker Red Riding Hood, she seems perfectly functional. Like, maybe she's a little, you know, overly innocent. We'll get into some of that later. I've got some skills, some stuff in there. And a little stronger than she should be for being a girl of indeterminate young age. But definitely got a little bit of the action. Maybe could go wild. So personal skills kind of define where I went with this direction. Obviously, she has an NP, but that's not as interesting, I think, as some of the skill stuff. So first skill is I listed as Innocent Girl EX. So basically a composite skill of Innocent Monster and Evaporation of Sanity.
Ooh.
So Red Riding Hood is a personification of innocence. She is an archetypal character who represents being a literal innocent little girl child wandering in the woods who's talking to strangers. Don't do that. That's dumb. So in terms of skills, basically enemies don't perceive her as hostile at all. So it's kind of like espionage in that way as well. It's like, yo, this is literally this is a sassy lost child, basically. What's she doing here? But also, she can't exactly, like, stage an ambush or do anything really clever or complex because she's not really that thinky. Like, not like she's dumb as a servant, but, like, that's just not what she does. She just doesn't think about things. She's like, oh, you know, Grandma, what huge teeth you have at the last minute. Like, it's not a brilliant thing. So, kind of sublimating all these stories about her innocence and stuff into kind of just a general being super innocent about stuff. But also we can throw in some fun stuff. We can say that that also as a servant she manifests a wolf's tail and ears. You know, innocent monster-like qualities, sublimated with the wolf. Also, I believe there's got to be at least one version of this story where she turns into a wolf or something. I don't know.
At some point, yeah, probably. I can see it.
That's the thing with this tale is talking about quote unquote the real version or whatever. There's like 5 billion. It's such a popular fairy tale motif that is so public domain that like somebody has thought of an ironic or postmodern or weirdly syncretic story to like work through all this stuff and figure out how this is supposed to mean something.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I've read like modern tales of like with the red ivory tropes where shoot sometimes she actually does fight the wolf or not whatnot and shit.
Yes.
So it's like,
and sometimes like I said, not necessarily as a servant. I'm going with innocent girl and whatnot, but sometimes, you have sexy Red Riding Hood, and the story is about something else.
Giggity.
Again, talking about stuff, but like yeah, meh. It's all over the place. This plays into our second skill because in my stat line I've designed for Fanservant Friday, Mental Corruption C.
Oh, Jesus.
An ability by way of distorted cognition. It is possible to block mental interference magecraft, but it is impossible to build mutual understanding. So basically, like a lot of our other mental corruption servants, Red here has interference in how she perceives the world because. Partly because, obviously, to build this legend, the quote-unquote real Red Riding Hood probably should have been a little bit of a precious lima bean who didn't know any better. But also, because you are a servant, your attributes are captured and writ large on the study of history. So, yeah, no, as a servant, Red is literally an innocent little lima bean who really doesn't get this kind of sneaky pants stuff. She trusts people, so inherently she trusts Master. Whatever you said is obviously correct. If you say your grandma, because Red Riding Hood's a fucking dumbass. She'll believe anybody's your grandma. At least in some versions. I think the idea in some tellings is that Red's obviously clearly putting this wolf on because she doesn't want to let him know because the wolf will fucking eat her, but whatever. There are also some stories where, no, she just climbs into the fucking bed with Granny to take a nap and gets eaten. Dumb. It's very dumb of you. Also, Loth, you're talking to patron chat. Nobody's looking over there right now. I only see because I have Discord alerts. We're all about the YouTubes, kids, right now. But yeah, so the other thing that I wanted to go further is, again, being a berserker, you want to add a little bit of danger in there. This happens a lot in Fate stories where sometimes you think you have an easy time with a servant and it comes back to bite you in the ass.
Did you give her a woodsman axe?
Yeah, that's her NP.
Ah, okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I was able to think of some fun things as an NP level thing.
Okay.
But so the backside of this is, if something were to shake Red's trust in our master, that would be like full worldview meltdown, and she would become a quote-unquote wolf. I don't know what that means. You can take that however you like, but it's bad. It's probably bad, especially for you. It's bad for you. But basically, if you de-innocent Red Riding Hood, something bad probably happened.
This sounds like a fucking Dojin premise.
Quiet you. I'm gonna talk about being tricked into cannibalism. You're out here doing other stuff. But yeah, by the way, that is a tale in some versions where the wolf has cooked Granny and serves some of it to Red, so she accidentally eats her own grandmother. It's wild.
It really is.
Stories are wild. Yeah, Boss Hunter just brought it up. Yeah, like I said, this is a archetypal fairy tale that was told in parts of France and Italy and other regions that are like all over the place. There are also some possible connection to Asian versions of the tale. Like, God knows, this could be some Proto-Indo-European shit. But there's apparently versions of this, like I said, in Asia where the version is involving a tiger. But like, there's a lot of variants. Like in some of the old tales, the wolf doesn't even get to eat Red. He goes to cook some of Granny in the fire, and he gets pushed in. It's all over the place. Last skill is was a funny reference. So I called this "Over the River and Through the Woods" because that's a very famous folk song, which I believe is about Thanksgiving. But it's over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house. It is not directly related to Red Riding Hood, but if you thought that, you wouldn't be crazy. Basically, this is kind of the skill given for having a complete story arc in folklore, right? Like it, the being a folktale that is relayed to us, we hypothetically know the complete moral story of Red Riding Hood's epic adventure in a wolf's belly. It's not always as epic as it seems. But basically, the functional purpose of this skill is that even with madness enhancement and mental corruption and all that stuff, she's supposed to have survived a moralizing tale, right?
Right.
So basically, kind of similar to the purpose of revelation, only without a lot of guidance. Red just has the ability to set out in the direction of her goal and reach it. She can travel through some dangerous woods to Granny's house and not be bothered by the obvious pitfalls. It just kind of happens. So there's this is basically like a fun way to kind of encapsulate the like, okay, so in most versions of the story, Red gets out of the situation at the last minute. A passing guy comes by to bail her out, unless you're Charles Perrault, who's kind of being an asshole about this whole thing. It's okay. He had plans and thoughts. But yeah, it's just a pretty simple skill that's like, again, you could probably say maybe like if you were to translate some of this to FGO stuff, you could have some, like crit enhancing effects, kind of like Revelation, like Stars per turn and maybe a Star Absorb up. Innocent Girl would, probably be like a Charm Lock or a First Taunt effect. No, you wouldn't possibly hit this innocent child who has a giant axe. Wait, she has a giant axe? Yes.
Yeah.
It's her Noble Phantasm. So, Woodsman's Axe, subtitle, Revenge of Red Hood, B, anti-personnel. So, in most variations, at the end of the story, a passing woodsman or hunter shows up. He notices there's a wolf around. He cuts open the wolf, lets Red and Grandmother out, and slays the wolf. And then in other versions, Red actually does it herself. She gets the axe and kills the wolf.
Like wasn't there another version where they actually fill it with rocks and sew it back up?
Yes, in some versions they don't kill the wolf, they just decide to torture him instead. Like I said, there's so many versions of this story.
I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, I have actually heard a fuck ton of these.
And I don't know why. I think it's just cultural drift. Like it's an old pre-writing, but pre-writing folktale that probably got iterated over and over again.
Yeah.
And like I said, the moral of the story seems pretty obvious. Like, if you're going to go into the spooky woods, because humans have a complex about spooky woods, it's kind of an antithesis to our natural way of living. Just watch the fuck out. Don't tell people what you're doing. Mind your own fucking business. And don't be an idiot. If Grandma looks like a wolf and talks like a wolf, maybe she's a fucking wolf and you should watch the fuck out. But yeah, so this basically sublimates the climax of her legend, the happy ending. So the axe has properties of being dangerous to phantasmal creatures. It is an axe that kills big bad wolves. Very important. But also, it's a conceptual weapon because it's a noble phantasm that gets to be fun. Because it was used to free Red from the wolf's stomach, because that doesn't make any goddamn sense normally. That's not how that works. Well, I guess if a wolf was literally big enough to swallow you whole, you might not completely suffocate in there, but it would still suck. It would not be as easy as just, let me just ask this guy a question. But anyway, so its conceptual properties is it can cut, chop, or otherwise separate things on a metaphysical level.
Oh, Jesus.
So, a strike with the axe does not just cut the thing you hit it with, it also spiritually cuts off pieces of it. If you hit a servant with it, for instance, not only would it physically cause them wounds, but it also might reduce the power of their spiritual body a little. Like, it actually chops off a little bit of their spirit energy they got to get back.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to use it to, like, separate Magecraft from its anchors, or, like, depower Mystic Codes temporarily or permanently, destroy bounded fields, that kind of stuff. Just generally have the ability to do weird shit with cutting and slicing. This would possibly be like, if you were to translate to FGO, maybe like a buff removal on hit. You know, a big single target wind up, strip buffs on a hit, do bonus damage to beasts, kind of a thing. The other note is that it's in the fiction I'm writing. Obviously, it's fate. It's a huge fucking axe. It's like gosh, I forgot her name. What was the tiny axe wielding character from Gate?
Rory?
Yeah, like that tier. Like obviously, like you know, because tiny girl, huge fucking axe is obviously adorable. I mean, cool, adorable. So you know, you got to go in that direction. And that's basically it. I didn't think of any other extra noble phantasms to throw in there, fun tools. You know, just a lot of weird wishy-washy plays on like the fact that there's so many goddamn versions of this myth, and you could hypothetically have, you know, almost like Jack the Ripper tier. You could hypothetically have this character appear over and over again in different versions and be completely different every time.
I think this one's actually gonna need a bit of thought.
So it's you know, it's got some stuff. Like visual design wise, like I said, I think there'd be, you know, like a couple of different variants you could do for like ascensions. Like obviously one should just be girl with axe in red hood. You should have another one where, you know, hood down, you can see her wolf ears. Also, I mean, it's FGO. Why don't we have more kimono? I mean, come on, throw it in there. Cool. And then like I said, the last one should probably be like. Because, like I said, in some of the old versions, it's actually like a golden cape or hat. So, like, even though she's called Red Hood, you could upgrade it to big old, glowy gold. It's cool. Also, I'm just scrolling through Wikipedia where I, like, double-check some of my facts, and I'm looking at all the hilarious illustrations, guys. Go to the Little Red Riding Hood Wikipedia page and look at all these derpy illustrations of tiny girl child and wolf, sometimes disguised as grandma. It's... It's very funny. But yeah, so that was Fanservant Friday for this month. So for next month, to celebrate the fact that Lost Belt 6 is going to come out, our store will be Knights Fairies. I won't give it away entirely, because I got to post the poll in like 3 days, 4 days, something like that. Yeah, I gotta post it next week, so you'll be able to see then, and our 5 and up patrons can view on this. But yes, that'll be our theme for next week. And also, like I said, we'll be beta testing, beta testing. I'll be checking out how people respond to Teach Me Omega Sensei, as well. And I got a list of a few topics that people have talked to bring up. And that, is that
solid stretch.
Yeah, I stretched. I don't think the microphone caught it, but I did. My shoulders.
Actually, now I think about it, fuck. Wouldn't she actually have a conceptual weakness of just being like just listening to people?
Yeah, that's kind of what I try to get across with like the mental corruption stuff and the innocent girl effect. Like, that's the thing. Red just accepts everything. She's just not really like I said, she's not dumb, but she's not really about critical thinking. And first and foremost, as a berserker who is summoned as a servant, her number one trust is Master. But also, you could probably get other servants who would be like wily, who would probably be, you know, a little trickstery in there and get her to do stuff. But if you make her mad, she's gonna hit you with a giant axe, and it's gonna suck.
So keep her away from Moriarty.
Bonk. That's assuming that Moriarty doesn't just get called, like, Grandpa and die.
He might.
Reverse conceptual weakness. The old professor, you know, he tries to play a prank on the little innocent berserker.
Oh, yeah, so...
the sweet cinnamon roll. And then she's just like, okay, Gramps. Smile, and he just like, my heart, no.
My back! My everything!
No, it's not my time yet. No. I didn't do that thing where I summon an asteroid.
Dynamic of an asteroid. This ear is not coming out. Have I mentioned how much I love Moriarty? I cry.
Right.
I cry every time.
So I see you finished the new...
Yeah, no, I'm trying to...
Yeah, I see you working on the angles.
Yeah.
I kind of like how you've, for the moment, drawn the body more serpent.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm going for more creep.
Hello, Clarice. Yeah, no, that's kind of like obviously for FGO we may or may like if it was an FGO element we may or may not get to some of that, but like for just Grail War purposes, there's so many different variations of the character of Red. You could absolutely have the thing where like, oh, you think that she's a chump, but then like halfway through she like freaks out and turns into a literal giant red werewolf and eats everybody. Mm.
Turns
Shit's
out,
wild. Fairy stories are wild, yo.
turns out she was the big bad wolf all along. Yeah, I think I can make that work.
Classics. But okay, I think that's all of our major show things.
Whoops. Yeah.
Let's see. We hit all our news. We hit the 2 big segments. Too. I talked about next week's segments, or next month's. That'll also be next week, but also generally for next month. We didn't really have records or not the all the words. We didn't bog down too much, other than I guess technically, like we said, we could count the Lucky Had to Walk Home story as all the words. Still doodling the thing. Get that line just right.
Listen, I don't.
That's not like I'm not taking any shots. I understand perfectly. I use less complex tools. No, get your lines to come right out. Oh, actually, you know, I do think that is right. I don't know if we talked about her being on a banner. I don't know if we mentioned that she did get a rank up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
got a rank up.
Yeah, she did.
Let me see if I can pull that up. It's probably because when I opened up regular Grand Order Wiki, it wasn't displayed. Let me actually look that up.
If I remember correctly, they boost her MP damage, and now she does extra damage against super large enemies. I think.
Yes. So they did the usual rank up thing, so it increases her damage multiplier, and yes, it adds a overcharge-based extra damage to super large, because bridges are large. Which is cool. You know, I do actually have a Fujino. I got her as, like, the literal last ticket on that banner.
Watch out, Arthur.
So, I mean... Yeah, I mean, that's a fun. I kind of hate that this came out, like, 3 years after she came out, because, God, that would have been a really good buff to have when Lost Belt 2 was a thing, guys. Just saying, as I already used Fujino for Surtur anyway. Yeah. It's dirt simple, like I said, super large is up, but it's cool, you know. It'll give her even more niches to do because she was already pretty good at certain story bosses and challenge quest type shit. This is just as a general topic, guys. This is a thing I'm really noticing about the way FGO does game design is like. Servants may or may not need buffs to be competitive with other servants because FGO has like multiple levels of where they care about units and what you use units for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like some people have been talking about like, oh man, Aresh could use a buff, and I'm like, yes and no. Like, yes, because Aresh is so heavily weighted for HP, like her in terms of pure attack, if she doesn't have like an attack bonus, yeah, she probably won't be like low turn clearing farm waves, but even though she has an AoE NP, that's not really what Aresh is for. Aresh is for challenge quests, basically, and story bosses, because she's fucking invincible. Like, she has huge HP. She makes her HP huger with a max HP up. She has, if you get the right cards and the right crit stars, she has crazy loot potential on her NP. And she has her guaranteed invul, you know, with her version, as unlike Ishtar, who has to roll those dice. Not that we brought up Agartha earlier. Not that I didn't survive that Demon Pillar battle with just every 5 turns Ishtar proccing her invul. I blew up that flying island so many times with the planet Venus. But like, you know, she could like Aresh could have some spicier things, but I think she's in her niche generally pretty good. Like I don't ever want anyone to say Aresh is quote unquote weak because I have an NP2 Aresh, I use her. No, she's great at what you use her for in those situations. Is she the best, like, farming Lancer? Especially after they've given buffs to, like, Lancer Altar and Lancer Artoria? No, probably not. But, you know, not everybody falls into that exact niche, you know? Not every AoE is actually a farm unit, even though sometimes FGO wants it to think. It's like Gil. Do you actually use Gilgamesh for farming? Yeah, sometimes, but also sometimes you use him as a pocket boss hitter because of his crazy good trait damage. So there's a lot of there's a lot of interesting stuff with the way units are balanced. One thing I do appreciate though is, like we've said before, just the fact that they're out there just throwing out rank ups, like, change to everybody. Oh, hey, we can include Fujino on a banner for the first time in like 2 years. I think it's actually 3 years, technically, all things told. But yeah, and then they're like, let's also give her an NP buff. Sure, why not? Buff for you. Buff for you guys. Buff for you guys. Buff for that guy. Buff for those dudes in the back. Animation update for you. They're getting a lot more fast and loose with doing stuff, which is good, especially when the content gets a little high and dry sometimes. Like I said, I earlier when we were talking about servants we want to roll for in next year in 2022, I looked at the 2020 JP schedule and I noticed in some months there was basically nothing happening because that was the COVID days. Very pointy.
Very pointy. I did that on the wrong layer. Good job, me.
Rip.
Here we go.
So yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff out there. For actual news on JP, where you're gonna have to wait possibly another week. So the event currently, the rerun doesn't end until the 10th of June, I think, which is 2 Thursdays into June. So our next show, by the way, will be the 4th of June, hopefully. So Lost Belt 4 will actually be out. We can probably give you some first impressions, some news. Do so you didn't get that 5-star on our couple of new servants and talk about them. It'll be fun. Especially William Tell. He's a great 3-star unit, guys. My personal roll plans, it will be after a monthly rollover, so there'll be I'll throw monthly tickets at the first banner at least. Plus, if we get like a full 10 roll out of like stream and social media rewards, sure, why not, But other than that, it's got to be like, I got to save my shots for a little bit of shot at Asclepius, and then a lot of shot at Mao, and then Da Vinci Rider. Because those will be very close together. Though, obviously, with Anniversary, you tend to get a huge infusion of Saint Quartz. Ah, shit, that means I got to... if it's going to be the 3rd, that's at least a couple of months away, but that means I got to figure out the frickin' GSSR this year for Anniversary. I think it's only 2... It's Knights v Cavalry again.
Yeah, probably.
It's gonna be a clusterfuck.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do it. It's only $15. It's half price. Also, I think this is the year when we introduce your 11th summon.
Yep,
kids.
It is
at Anniversary. Yeah. So if you do 10 singles or 1 10 spin, this includes, by the way, it has to be, I believe, on the same banner. But if you do 10 singles in a row, whether it's tickets or 3 Saint Quartz, you get an 11th for free.
Yep.
And you will get 11 now instead of just 10 when you do a 30 quartz spin. So that's fun. That's a cool little thing they've got added.
I'm excited.
Obviously, JP's Anniversary is quite a couple of months away, but like we said, I am going to presume that after, because it's, ends the 10th, that if the pre-release campaign for Lost Belt 6 doesn't start before that by a couple of days, we will immediately roll into probably a pre-release of like quarter APs or half APs to like catch everybody up on the story. Maybe throw out returning banners for some servants who haven't been on banners in a little bit, and then the bulk of June will probably be taken up with Lost Belt 6 for JP. For us at home in NA, yeah, it's very sinister, big sinister energy on that emote you just posted.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, change the name.
We will be marathoning. We'll burn through our couple of weeks dedicated for Lost Belt 4. I keep wanting to say Lost Belt 2 for some reason, but no, it's 4. It's 2 more than that. It's double that. We should have a 1 million downloads campaign sandwiched in there. I don't remember what number is coming up for us, but there should be that. And then it will be Guda Guda Final Hanoji with Mao and Mori and all that stuff. And then, like, either after a week of that has gone by, or let's see, okay, starts the night of the 2nd, 2 weeks, the 16th, about a week for that. Yeah, so it'll probably still have like a few days left of running by the time we get our Anniversary shit in July. But that banner will have come out, so it's gonna be a packed month, kids. Buckle the fuck up, get ready. We will. Speaking of 2022, we will not have this problem next year. They've got all the time in the world to move shit up before our Anniversary.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple, like, that first month that I assumed Delightworks switched to, like, working at home and shit. They were, like, basically nothing happened. Like, there was an interlude campaign, and that was about it. So yeah, all right. I think it's about time though to yawn.
Yawn. Yes.
And to wind down the show. So, everybody, hope you've been enjoying Let's Talk FGO. I noticed there's a lot of likes out there. Thank you so much for those. But there's only 26 likes, and there's 58 of you watching right now, or possibly 60. YouTube is giving me two different numbers here. That's more than 26. So, first of all, if you're watching this live right now, give me a like, or I'll eat your parents.
Sir.
Do it. Give me those likes. Give them to me.
Jesus,
if you're watching this at home later, listen, I watch Philip DeFranco. He does like daily news a lot. He tells people to press the like button or he'll throat punch them, and he's like a huge YouTube creator, so we can be violent with our audience. It works.
Oh god.
Push that like button or you'll get some.
Okay, I guess people want violence. Fine. I know how to throw
my
down.
knuckles are not poppable right now. Otherwise, I would have done it. Anyway.
I don't know if that came across.
A little bit.
Can I do it louder? Hang on, let me get it.
Yeah, no, that carried.
Okay, there we go.
But yes, if you're watching this later at home, be sure to give this video a like if you liked it. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also join our Discord. That link is on our channel page and also should be in the description of the video at some point.
Some point.
But you can join the fun. It's great over there. You can yell about all kinds of things with people. And of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Our sub numbers have been all over the place lately. I don't know what's going on.
Now he's in a tux! Sorry.
That's pretty funny. Technically, we're like losing subs right now, but that's after we ballooned back up to our normal level, and then we're going back down, and then we're going to go up again. I don't know. Just sub to us so we can get to 3K subs. I talked about this with Lucky. I would assume when we actually finally get over 3K and stay there, for the love of God, mantra, sir. It does. It goes up and down all the time, and I really don't understand. I assume it's mostly like YouTube occasionally yeeting bots and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe people are disappointed by the Oops All Omega week. Whatever. They'll come back when we post Wanted or something. Anyway, when we do cross that 3K threshold and actually fucking stay there, I've talked about this. We will probably plan another live to YouTube version of Let's Talk FGO that will be kind of like this, but I don't know what Lucky will put on screen. He might drum our art. It might be FGO. I don't fucking know. It depends on the timing. But we'll probably do something like this again to celebrate 3K subs. So please give us your subs. And even if you're already subscribed, consider hitting that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video or when we stream. Like when we streamed this, basically out of nowhere.
No way.
I mean, not out of nowhere. We talked about it yesterday, but still, you know.
I try to give heads up.
You never know what people are checking what on the social when. So, you know, hit that bell. Get those notifications. It's good. Important. You can also join our channel, join our memberships by clicking the join button or the link in the description below. If you join, you get access to the sweet, sweet emotes of some variety that Lucky has been making, for instance.
I try.
Some of them. You know, they'll be in there. And the more memberships we get, the more emotes we can have. And no, that wasn't a verbal typo. They are called sheeps.
I feel like we should change it, but I don't know what to what.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a funny joke when we first started, and I just haven't thought of anything better. That's kind of our MO. We just go with whatever works at first, and then if we don't have any better ideas, we don't change it. You know, don't fix what ain't broken. But, yeah, so there's that. But also, consider supporting us on Patreon. Like we said at the front of the show, you can get access to this episode early and in audio format for as little as $1 a month or $10 a year. And yes, this is going to have an audio version. It will be edited down to trim out some of that dead air and maybe some of the weird noises we made where we breathe into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be there. You can check it out. We have all of our audio content up archived for our people on Patreon. We also post What's Up audio there, even though we stream those. And generally, it's a good time. It helps support us. It may, you know, help Lucky buy a button maker if people are into that kind of a thing. That's the kind of stuff we do with this. know, I've bought battery backups with Patreon money, monitors, shit like that make us go goo, etc., etc. I may be buying a new video recording software soon. Even though OBS didn't actually scuff anything last progression session, it tried to fake me to think it did, and it was annoying. Nope, there's a ton in there. Baton maker. Burton maker. Listen, Loth, you can't make fun of my diction. You Australian koala motherfucker. You upside down man. You living drop bear. You wombat bait. You dirty crocodile hunter. I don't have any more funny insults for Loth. It's fine. I can insult Loth. I could fight him in progression. He won't win.
But will you win either?
I mean, well, when we did that, we literally did that last week. The episode that just came out. I put Dallas and Loth against each other, and Loth did lose. And then Dallas lost the next round. In possibly a record-making 2 minutes and 30-second match.
Jesus.
We discussed a lot of stuff in the format. Go ahead and watch the stuff on the back.
Oh no, this is special. This is a stream. This isn't usual.
No, when we do Let's Talk FGO, the quote unquote video, because we've experimented with versions that have a little bit more interactive video. Those take time to edit. People like us posting them more frequently, but when we're live streaming, we can show you what's on our screens and stuff and add some more interactive elements. Usually the podcast bits have no visual aids. I'm sure we will eventually go back to visual aids. We just need a bigger pipeline to make all that stuff go better.
Yeah.
That's what's supporting us on Patreon and, giving us your memberships, giving me your super chat times right the fuck now, maybe. I don't know. That kind of stuff goes towards that, slowly growing us and building resources and regular income so we can juice up the production. But we've got a pretty good handle on live shows, and it's pretty fun. So check it out. Yeah, okay, I think that's everything. We'll see you guys next week for more Let's Talk FGO. Like I said, unless we feel spicy on Sunday, probably know what's up this week. It's all right, you'll live.
I hope.
We can remember to yell about Far Cry 6 next week, or we've yelled about enough today. Video game stuff happens. Anyway.
Yep.
We'll see y'all.
We out. Spicy curry.